Are you revised yesterday's class? Didn't get time to revise? Okay. What did you do after the class? You? Okay. You? Job. Oh, nice. Oh, good. Start ಮಾಡಿ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿದೆ. So within 2 days, we have to complete the medieval India. Yeah. Have some faint idea with respect to medieval India. What is medieval India? So when can we consider like start of medieval India? Have like some ideas. Okay, so before we go to medieval India, so like the thing what we'll start doing is okay, we will complete two dynasties that ruled South India. Okay, so like they are Chalukyas and Pallavas. See, to differentiate Chalukyas, like you have to understand, like these are also called Western Chalukyas. So like this is, as you can see here, this is west part of India. Okay, so like they are also called as Western Chalukyas. Like there was one more dynasty. Okay, so like that ruled Andhra Pradesh and Odisha region. Okay, so you might have heard about a great temple called Puri Jagannath, Konark Sun Temple. All those like architectural structures built by a dynasty called Eastern, sorry, like that have been built by Eastern Gangas. So, anyways, like Eastern Chalukyas was also there and like ruled Andhra Pradesh as well as Orissa. Okay, so like there is Western Chalukyas. So there is the Eastern Chalukyas. Okay, in around 8th century, 9th century, you will also see that. So like there is Chalukyas. Okay, so like those Chalukyas are nothing but also called as Solankis. You must have read in history. Okay, so like there was a personality called Muhammad Ghazni who came to India, okay, who ransacked a temple called Somnath Temple. Okay, so like he came to India and ransacked that Somnath Temple. Okay, so like while that time, so like the dynasty that was ruling, it's Chalukyas, or like they are also called as Solankis. So they were ruling Gujarat part. Okay, so just because like there are a lot of names, so you don't need to get confused. There is Western Chalukyas, so that ruled in the present day Karnataka, specifically Aihole, Badami, Kattatkal. So that is the main center of Chalukyas, Western Chalukyas. So like that dynasty was there around 6th century AD. Okay, so like here, first we'll see. Okay, so like this is clear, right? So we have completed this map in last class. Okay, so like just remember this, like Chalukyas were like ruling here. Okay, so like Pallavas were ruling here, and again, so like there are late Guptas, Maukaris, Pushabutis, Maitakas. Okay, so just remember this map. Okay, it can come very handy. Okay, I told you we have to start with the Chalukyas and Pallavas. Okay, so like the founder of Chalukya is called Pulkeshi I. Okay, he is known as the founder, but like he is not considered as the greatest ruler of Chalukyas. It's actually like not Vikramaditya, it's Pulkeshi II, the great ruler of Chalukyas was Pulkeshi II. Okay, so we'll like see why he is considered as great ruler of Chalukyas. Okay, so see, like this is Chalukya rulers. This is Pallava rulers. Okay, so don't get confused. Okay, so like this is Pallava. The reason why I have made it in a single page, so there is a reason. Okay, so like because these two dynasties always fought with each other. So many things have happened. Like this Pulkeshi too. Can you see the time? 609 to 642. So like there is a person called Mahendra Varman here. Okay. So like this Mahendra Varman, with respect to art and architecture, he has a huge contribution. Okay. This Mahendra Varman got defeated by Pulkeshi II. Pulkeshi II defeated Mahendra Varman. Okay. So then Mahendra Varman's son would be angry. He need to take the revenge. Okay. So like this Mahendra Varman's son Narasimha Varman. Okay. He in turn defeated Pulkeshi II. Okay, so like this, then okay, so like next lineage, okay, they have to reconsolidate themselves. Okay, this Narasimha Varman. Okay, so like later, as you can see, like Mahendra Varman too, his ruling is only for 2 years, 668. Okay, so he's not considered like that great ruler with respect to Pallava dynasty. Okay, so you see this name Parmeshwara Varman. Okay, so like here you can you see like there is a person called Vikramaditya one. Okay, so he was the one. Okay, later times again, his father got defeated. See the like if you're a fan of like these kind of stories in a movies. Okay, here like you will definitely find it in real life. Okay, so like because like his father got defeated. So like this now like onus is on this person called Vikramaditya one. Okay, now he had to take care of the revenge. Okay, also first like before taking care of the revenge, he have to reconsolidate his kingdom first, right? So then he can go for a revenge. Okay, first he reconsolidated. Okay, so like later around 1680s, okay, he came and he defeated Parmeshwara. But this Parmeshwara Varman, although once he got defeated, so later he in turn actually like defeats again Chalukyas. Okay, so like then you can again see that like this Vikramaditya, okay, in the year 740. Okay, so like he comes again, like can you see here, like okay, you need to consider the contemporaries. So 740 this period, right? So like it was actually Nandivarman too, who was ruling during that time. Okay, so like he got defeated by Vikramaditya. Okay, so like later times only, what you see is the ransack of complete dynasties. Okay, so without even seeing anything, including the beautiful art and architectural contributions. But okay, Vikramaditya too, he went up to Kanchipuram. He defeated the Pallava rulers. Okay, instead of actually completely ransacking and destroying all the temples, so like he did a beautiful thing. He patronaged them. He understood the value of art and architecture. When he came back, okay, so like the similar kind of temples were built in this Badame Ayode Pattatkal Chalukya region. Okay, so like there is a famous temple called Virupaksha temple. You will hear this temple name twice. Okay, once like you will hear this Virupaksha temple in what do you say, Vijayanagara dynasty. Okay, so like there is one more Virupaksha temple, which you like this Virupaksha temple. It is there in place called Hampi, Vijayanagara dynasty Alirado. But like this Virupaksha temple, it is there in this Chalukya dynasty. Okay, in the year like 740. Okay, so again with the help of his wife Lokamahadevi. So like this Virupaksha temple has been built. Yeah. See, if I ask you who has built this Taj Mahal, okay, you'll definitely say like it's from a person called Shah Jahan. Okay, so like if I again ask you, so like what are the other places that have been built? Okay, like any important places, you'll always take the name of the rulers, right? But is it only rulers that has contributed so much for like these things? Is it only rulers? No. Sometimes it is common people as well. Okay. Sometimes it's like architect as well. He had to plan, he had to do that. Okay. So like other places, you don't see the architects who have planned for these kind of things. These beautiful monuments get the recognition they deserve. Okay. But here the case is different. Here they get the recognition. Okay. So like with respect to Chalukya temples, you will see not just the name of the rulers. See the beautiness. Okay. Also, along with the name of the rulers, you will also see that the name of the architects. Okay. So like there comes a name, Tribhuacharya, maker of the three worlds. Okay. So that must have been given to the architect of that time. Okay. So again, see why I am telling you all this. Okay, so like this rivalry between Chalukyas and as well as Pallavas. Okay, so like there are like a lot of rulers, right? Who have defeated. Okay, so like there are a lot of nicknames also like that have been taken by these people. Okay, so as you can see, like there is a continuous interplay between these two dynasties, Chalukyas as well as Pallavas. Okay, so but UPSC is never bothered about all of these wars. When they want to ask a question, they would rather ask a question about like Mahendra Varman rather than all the other rulers who have destroyed the things. Okay, so like it is art and architecture. Okay, so when you're reading for UPSC, you have to understand it's not just wars that's going to make more sense. Okay, it's other aspects. Okay, other aspects of the dynasty that have built the dynasty. Okay, so are you able to understand these things? Okay, so like again, in detail, if I have to talk, this Pulkeshi is the founder. Okay, Pulkeshi admele, like the person who followed Pulkeshi, it is his son Kirti Varman. Okay, so can I write? Okay, he had two sons. Okay, one name is Kirti Varman. Second name is Mangalesha. Okay, so you can see that. Okay, Kirtivarman. Okay, died an untimely death. This Kirtivarman, he died an untimely death, and he died. Okay, so like his son. Okay, so Pulkeshi too. He was like really small. Okay, he was a minor. He couldn't have ruled. Okay, so that's why it has been agreed that so Kirtivarman's brother, his name is Mangalesha. Okay, he took up the power. Okay, once he took up the power, you can also see that okay, he ruled for almost only years, 597 to 609 CE. Okay, so again, by this time you can understand that the minor son of Kirtivarman, that is Pulkeshi II. So he must have come of age. Okay, so like in reality, what should have happened? The position actually belongs to whom? To a person called Pulkeshitu. So like this Mangalesha, he should have given the dynasty back to Pulkeshitu. So but like as I told you, as you also know that okay, power is that thing which consumes oneself. It doesn't see like even the families, right? So like that's what we have seen. Okay, see that's what actually the vices of these things, the power, the money thing. Okay, so like, can you now really understand and appreciate the beauty of Jainism and Buddhism which we have studied? Okay, the things like that have been propagated by these people. Okay, it rises about all these materialistic things. Don't you think like our life will become really simpler if we follow the principles like that have been propagated by great philosophers of India? Okay, not just Gautam Buddha and Vardhamana Mahavira. There are like other great philosophers as well who have given like beautiful wisdom. Like why does all these people of Western India, like Western world, so that is like Europe and USA, always comes to India? It is to gain this wisdom. You must be knowing just last year, so not last year, this year, right? Mahakumbha Mela happened. Okay, there you must have seen that. Okay, so Steve Jobs' wife, okay, all these great personality have visited Mahakumbha Mela. Okay, so what could have been the reason? Think. The jewels, okay, the spiritual wisdom this land holds. So it is unmatchable to anything. That's the reason, like all these people, okay, so come to India. Like there comes a personality as well. When you read about modern India, there will come a personality called Rajaram Mohan Rai. Okay, he was also thoroughly impressed by like the Indian spiritual side. Okay, intellectual side and spiritual side of India. Okay, so I mean, you must be knowing like sati is a very wrong system that used to happen in the world. Okay, so he said like sati should be banned. Okay, and he was instrumental in banning the sati. I mean, there are like a lot of see, he was ahead of his time. Society has accepted sati as a norm. Okay, so when he started opposing for it, there were elements in the Hindu society that opposed him. One of the strangest thing happened. Okay, so like he was so ahead of his time, even his own mother protested against him. Even his own mother couldn't understand. Okay, so what he is trying to tell. Okay, because he was so much ahead of his time. he told one thing. Okay, so like learn spiritualism of East. Okay, at the same time, learn the education of West. With respect to scientific discoveries, okay, or like scientific knowledge, like their contribution or their level of mastery right now is much higher. Okay, so like he's saying there is nothing wrong if India wants to become a developed nation. So you don't just have to like stick up to like this whole concept of nationalism. Nationalism is contributing to the nation. So it can come from understanding the thing. See, for example, so like see these all AI companies, ChatGPT. Okay, so like the Open AI company. Okay, so where is it? USA. Okay, so like this, then Google's, okay, Gemini or Perplexity. Although CEO is Indian, all these companies are based in USA. Okay, so like and like to build these companies, there is like you need something called APIs. Okay, so like there is a company called Nvidia. Okay, that is hugely responsible for these companies building like powerful AIs, AI systems, artificial intelligence system. Okay, so like what you need to understand, okay, is you don't need just because the when it comes to AI and other things. So like these people are like very well advanced. Okay, these people are very well advanced. Western part. Okay, so like you don't need to restrict yourself. You can gain the wisdom from them as well. That's the actual teaching of Raja Ram Mohan Rai, the person who has done so much for the Sati system. Okay, so why did we start talking about Raja Ram Mohan Rai? I was talking to you people about these the philosophies of India. So that's when like we have started deviating. So with respect to other aspects. Okay. So like this Mangalesh, he should have given the power back to Pulkeshi too when he came of the age. Okay. But that didn't happen. Okay. So like then, although like he ruled for 12 years, there exists a power struggle between Mangalesha and Pulkeshi too. Okay, so like as you can see, the person who followed after Mangalesha too, it is none other than Pulkeshi too. Okay, so like then what does it suggest? Who must have won that war? Pulkeshi too. If Mangalesha would have won that war, he would have continued. No. Okay, so like, but it is Pulkeshi too who has won that war. Okay, so like, and he is considered the greatest ruler of Chalukyas. Like there is a reason why he is considered one of the greatest ruler of Chalukyas. Yesterday we have studied a North Indian dynasty, okay, so called Pushabutis. Correct. So like this Pushabuti dynasty. So who was the most important ruler or like powerful ruler with respect to Pushabuti dynasty? Pushabuti dynasty ಅಲ್ಲಿ most important ruler ಯಾರು? Vardhana dynasty. See, Pushabuti dynasty, it is also called as Vardhana dynasty. Okay, so you just have to add Harsha before Vardhana. So like then you will get the greatest ruler of Vardhana dynasty or Pushabuti dynasty. That is Harshavardhana. Okay, so like as you know, okay, Harshavardhana was able to defeat many kings. He was able to expand like this Pushabuti dynasty, which was just ruling a smaller part in Staneshwar or present day Haryana. So like he was able to expand it. So like even he controlled Uttar Pradesh. We know that okay, he has been able to defeat the Kamarupa rulers as well as Samatata rulers. Where is Kamarupa? Assam. Where is Samatata? West Bengal. Presently Bengal only. Okay, so like although like it's in the eastern part of India, we call it still West Bengal. Yeah, this is India, right? Okay, so like this is west part of India. So like then this is east part of India. So like the place which is staying here, is it in the west part of India or east part of India? It is east part of India. Can you see the irony? We calling it West Bengal. Okay, why do we call it West Bengal? There is a reason. Okay, so like when these Britishers came, the great people who have made India's name go to the heights. I mean, I'm telling it sarcastically. Okay, so like they were the one like who ruined most of the things in India. Okay, economically, like India was in abysmal position. Okay, very bad position. I mean to tell. Okay, so like that was the situation, right? So ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ this Bengal. Okay, so like this Bengal, whole Bengal region. So you name a great freedom fighters. Okay, so like most of the like top freedom fighters came from this land. The land which was the intellectual capital of the India. That used to be the condition of West Bengal, the present Bengal region. So like it used to be the intellectual capital of Bengal. Imagine, okay, so like land which gave us Arvindo Ghosh, which gave us Swami Vivekananda. Like these are like there will come other personalities as well. Chittaranjan Das. Okay, there is Bipin Chandra Pal. All these personalities are nothing but associated with Bengal. Their homeland, the origin is nothing but Bengal. So like there is one of the patriot freedom fighter is also there. You must be knowing him. His name is yeah, Rabindranath Tagore is also there. Okay, so like other than that, like there is one more great freedom fighter like which India has seen. His name is Subhash Chandra Bose. He also comes from this land, this beautiful land of Bengal. Okay, so Bengal used to be the beautiful land. See, these personalities, obviously, they would have inspired so many people. Okay, Britishers were like what do you say, like so afraid of Bengal's growth. Okay, they thought that if we let Bengal continue to grow, so like in the same pace, so it will be possible that they will overthrow us. Okay, we have to make sure. Okay, these Bengal people shouldn't be united. Okay, then what happened was like earlier. So within the when like okay, Britishers came to India, like this West Bengal as well as like East Bengal, that is present day Bangladesh. Okay, they used to be a united part. Okay, it was in the year 1905 when so it was in the year 1905 when they divided the Bengal into two parts. So like because now amongst these two, this is in the east part, this is in the west part. Okay, so like then they have named it East Bengal and like they have named this West Bengal. Okay, although like West Bengal now presently it is in the east part, they still call it as West Bengal. They think like name should be changed because it's a misnomer. It's not in the eastern part of India. Sorry, it's not in the western part of India. So do you think like we should name West Bengal as something else? Yes or no? Yes? Okay. So we'll write a letter to Mamata Banerjee. You know who is Mamata Banerjee, right? So like leader of West Bengal. She is the present CM of West Bengal. Okay. Where was I? I was talking about this. I was talking about like Pulkeshi II, the greatest ruler this dynasty has seen. Okay, so like as you can see, okay, so like in this power struggle, who must have emerged victorious? Pulkeshi II. Okay, he emerged victorious, and I connected it to Harshavardhana, so one of the greatest ruler. Okay, but if you see Harshavardhana, you have seen that so below Narmada he wasn't able to come. Okay, he conquered the dynasties or the territories only until Narmada River. But below Narmada, he wasn't able to come. What could have been the reason? The reason is none other than Pulkeshi II. There exists a war between Pulkeshi II as well as Harshavardhana. Okay, so like then who emerged victorious in that war? It was Pulkeshi II. Okay, so like this person Pulkeshi II. Okay, you name a kingdom, he has defeated that. Whoever present during that time. Pallavas, like I told you, like Mahendra Varman. So he defeated Mahendra Varman. Pallava ruler, okay, Mahendra Varman, got defeated by a person called Pulkeshi II. So like it means like he has defeated Pallavas. It means like he has defeated like one of the greatest dynasties like that India has seen. Like especially during that time, that is Vardhana dynasty. Okay, so like I told you, like there is Western Gangas as well. Okay, he was able to defeat Western Gangas. There is one more dynasty. It is also called as the first dynasty of Karnataka. Okay, that is called Kadambas. He was able to defeat Kadambas. Can you imagine? Okay, so like what a great ruler, what a great warrior he must have been. Okay, we will get to know about all this information. So when you read a inscription called as Ayoda inscription, okay, who has written this inscription? It is written by a person called Ravikirti. Okay, Aihole inscription. So which tells us the greatness of Pulkeshi too. Okay. So, Aihole inscription. So which tells us the greatness of Pulkeshi too has been compiled by a person called court poet who was there during the Pulkeshi too. Okay. His name is called Ravi Kirti. No, like we have talked about the greatness of Kalidasa. Okay, his literary works literally considered as one of the top 100 works, even in the present day world. Okay, all time greats ಅಲ್ಲಿ considered ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Okay, so but you have to also understand that okay, he was not the only great literate who came out of India. Okay, so within this like Aivada inscription, okay, so like this Ravi Kirti mentions about one more personality. His name is called Bharavi. See, this you need to write because you will get a question. His name is called Bharavi. Okay, so like Bharavi, so like he gave the equal status as like okay as Kalidasa status. Even in South India, there existed a personality, okay, whose literary work is also equivalent to the work of Kalidasa. That's what's been said about. So like this Bharavi's work. Okay, Bharavi has written a book called Kirtarjunaya. So this, okay, so many times they will ask this question. Kirtarjunaya. Okay, so that is the book written by this Bharavi. Okay, so then was he in the court of Chalukyas? Like this Ravi Kirti, who has compiled the Ayola inscription, so written about Bharavi. Okay, so but like was he in the court of Chalukyas? No, he wasn't. He was there in the court of Pallavas. Okay, specifically Mahendra Varman. Okay, so then we have talked about Vikramaditya. Okay, so like this, see, you understood few things about Pulkeshi too now. Okay, so like he took a later great titles. He took a title of Parameshwara. What does Parameshwara means? Shiva himself. Okay, so what does Vishwanath means? Vishwa means? Vishwa means world. Yeah. So like Nath means like the one who is ruling the world. Okay. I mean, just so you can get involved. Okay, so like the point here is he took the title of Parmeshwara. Okay, who took the title of Parmeshwara? Not Ravi Kirti. Ravi Kirti is a poet. Okay, titles ಎಲ್ಲ ಯಾರು ತಗೋತಾರೆ? Kings ತಗೋತಾರೆ. Okay, most important kings ಯಾರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ? Okay, Ravi Kirti, he is writing about whom? Pulkeshi II. So this Pulkeshi II took the title of Parmeshwara after defeating Harshavardhana. Okay, this is also confirmed by a foreign traveler who visited to the court of Pulkeshi II. Okay, who visited to the court of Pulkeshi II. Okay, also Harshavardhana's court. Okay, his name is, who is the Chinese traveler who visited in the court of Harshavardhana? The famous Chinese traveler who visited in the court of Harshavardhana. Huyen Stang. T silent ಆಗುತ್ತೆ Huyen Stang. Okay, so you know with respect to these Chinese names, so we don't know. Okay, it's okay, can't make fun of Chinese. Although like India China to bahi bahi hai, you know, so like based on the recent events that has happened, okay, so like we are friends now, not anymore enemies. Okay, see the international relation, like these things will keep changing. Your friends and your enemies will keep changing. Someday you are friend with someone, okay, so next day you are not sure. Okay, based on the event that can transcribe. Okay, so like you're not sure whether you are going to be friend. Okay, so like there is no all-time friend, there is no all-time enemy when it comes to international relations. Okay, so it depends on the other dynamics. See, international relation, it always like every country wants to do that thing which is beneficial for them. So like then there will obviously that itself will create some mass. Okay, what is beneficial for us might not be beneficial for other country. So like then we are at odds with that country. Correct. Okay, so like that's why you will see that. Okay, so international relations is very dynamics and it keeps changing. Okay, so like the conflicts in international relation, it's almost a norm. You will see that. Okay, so like newspaper ಓದ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ, You must be reading about all these things. Okay, what are the things that's happening? I mean, forget about reading the newspapers. You must be seeing all the memes that's been created. Okay, so on these very controversial and recent happenings. Okay, yeah, we'll come back again. Okay, so like Pulkeshitu Admele. Okay, so see, we know for sure that okay, within the Pallava dynasty, who is the person, the son of Mahendra Varman, who followed him? It is Narasimhavarman. Okay, so you know this Narasimhavarman, he comes. Okay, Pulkeshi, although he defeated many of the rulers, right? Okay, but he wasn't always, he hasn't all won all the wars he has faced. He has defeated one. He got defeated in one. Okay, so like that is the war. So in which like he got defeated was by Narasimhavarman, the son of Mahendravarman. Right, when your father is getting defeated, okay, so like don't you think like it becomes your innate responsibility to avenge that? Okay, so like this Narasimhavarman, okay, he actually concludes the treaties with other rulers. Okay, so then he comes and he was like able to defeat thoroughly this Chalukyan dynasty ruler Pulkeshitu. Okay, he didn't just defeat and destroy the, he didn't just defeated the king. You know what he did? He completely ransacked the city. He completely ransacked the capital city of this Chalukyas. So like the capital cities of Chalukyas used to be Badami. Okay, so like in earlier times it is also used to be called as Vatapi. Okay, so after ransacking the like this Badami Vatapi, he took the title. Okay, this Narasimhavarman, he took the title that Vatapi Kunda. This Vatapi is nothing but Badami. Badami you must have heard. So in present day Karnataka, in which district you will find this Badami? I heard a Badami. No, no, not in Hospet. Never heard of it. So okay, never curious. Where is this Badami? Where is this I heard? This Badami, it is there in the present day Bagalkot district. It must be near to this place. Uh, so it must be around 200 kilometers to 250 kilometers. So you can make time and you can visit these places. Or it might be more as well, more than 250 kilometers. Yeah. So like, but like still you can visit. Okay. So I mean, what do you say? Like in Chikoridaga, you must have heard the term called Desha Suttu Koshavodu. Okay. Why people used to tell you that? You should study the things. Okay. So you should study a lot of literary works. Okay. So like then you should travel the world. Because traveling will give you a lot of insights. Okay, a lot of cultural insights of other people as well. That's going to be really helpful. Okay. Okay. You will become tolerant. Okay. You will try to understand other cultures. Okay. You will gain the wisdom how to behave. Okay. So what are the civic senses? It will make you better human being when you travel the world. Not just that. Okay. You must have known a company called Flipkart. You must have known a company called what is that company? Like Oyo. Okay, Oyo is a company which manages the hotel chains. Okay, you must have known a company called Ola. Ola. Okay, so like Ola is a company which gives the service when it comes to, so like this taxi service company, right? This Ola. But like, are they original ideas? You know, like the owner of Oyo or like CEO of Oyo. Okay, so his name is Rakesh Agarwal. How much money he's worth? Individual worth, not company's worth. Okay, he's worth around 10,000 crores. 10,000 crores. Okay. So, but what I'm trying to say here is like this idea of Flipkart, this idea of Oyo, this idea of Ola, are they original ideas? Before Flipkart, there was Amazon in USA. So like Amazon did exist from 1997. Before Oyo in India, in USA, you'll find a company called Airbnb. Before Ola in India, you'll find a company called Uber. Uber was there from like 2004, 2005. What do you understand by that? These people, they must have traveled. Okay, they must have studied the models that is already existed. From that, they would have gained a lot of money. People will tell no. So like travel a lot. Do you understand? Okay, so why this traveling can help you in other ways? It can make you rich. Okay. See, just by copying ideas. I mean, as a, like there must have been other works. I'm simplifying the things here, but you need to understand that. Okay. So like traveling the world gives you that insights that can make you entirely different human beings. That experience will change you for the better. Isn't it beautiful? Like to understand these things, to think about these things, and like this, all this, like the things which I have explained, they have just said it in a one line. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆ ಅದು ಲೈನ್ ದೇಶ ಸುತ್ತು ಕೋಶ ಓದು. Okay, so I was talking about which person? Narasimha Varman. Okay, so like he took the title called Vatapi Konda because he completely ransacked a city called Vatapi or like present day Badami. Okay, which used to be the capital city of Chalukyas, Western Chalukyas. Okay, so like then he also took a title called Mamalla. Okay, after that, so like the son of Pulkeshitu, so that is Vikramaditya I. He got the power. Okay, so like now, do you think what should Vikramaditya do? What is the duty of Vikramaditya now? Vikramaditya I, I am talking about. Huh? To defeat okay, Pallava king or Narasimhavarman. In particular, Narasimhavarman. If this Narasimhavarman is not available, time period another mismatch ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, so like he should defeat the next king who follows Narasimhavarman. I mean, not Mahendravarman. Mahendravarman is, see, this Mahendravarman, he was not a great ruler. The Mahendravarman II, not the Mahendravarman I. Okay, I'll tell you. Okay, so why I am actually building up all these stories? There is a reason. I have to show you, okay, how you need to think when it comes to exam. I told you, like, okay, everything will be surrounded with respect to exams, tangible things. That is marks. Get the marks. Okay. Where was I? I was talking about. I was talking about like, okay, so like this Vikramaditya one, right? Okay, the Vikramaditya one. Okay, so like now, okay, what will be his duty? His duty will be to defeat the Pallava king. But before that, so like, don't you think now, before defeating the Pallava king, he should consolidate himself first? Because like we have seen, Narasimhavarman took a title called Vatapi Konda. It means not just like, okay, so Chalukya rulers has been defeated. The whole kingdom is also in bad state now. Now it has to be changed. Okay, first he has to consolidate his empire. Okay, he has to make repairs in his empire. Okay, consolidate the army. Okay, bring the strength back. See, you don't go to war when you are like weak. You need to go to war when you are strong. Unless you are Pakistan. Unless you are Pakistan, okay, you need to go to war only when you are strong. You know, Pakistan comes to war with India many times, and they have never defeated us. But like only in social media, they claim that they have defeated Indians. Okay, so but you can understand here, you need to get strong first. That's what he did. Okay, so as you can see, okay, so the war didn't happen directly at like 6:55 when he took the power. Okay, so like there was some time lag. Okay, so like until few years, okay, so like he just concentrated on consolidating. See, this is also a beautiful lesson for ourselves. Okay, when you are reeling from pain, okay, when you are reeling from loss, first build yourself. You can control the world, you can win the wars. Okay, I mean, here the war is real war. Okay, in our life, the war will be war with us. There will be personal wars. You can win all the personal wars, but first you need to strengthen yourself. Understand these things. Okay, so like, see, history, it depends on perspectives. How you want to study history. Okay, if you build a perspectives, okay, from every story, you can get some moral lessons. Some are the other lesson which you can actually apply for your life. He consolidated when the kingdom was weak. Okay, he consolidated, and then he went back. Then, like, okay, around 1680s. Sorry, only not in 1680s. Like, we are still in 7th century, no? So like 680s. Okay, so 670s and 680s. So that's the year when he went back to Pallava king, and he was able to defeat a Pallava king called Parmeshwara Varman. Okay, so like this is the story of Vikramaditya. Okay, so like then you can see there is a time lag between some other rulers. Okay, so like the next great ruler is this Vikramaditya too. We have talked about this Vikramaditya. Okay, he must have went into the court of Nandivarman. Okay, so like this Pallava Malla. Okay, so like then he was able to defeat Nandivarman too. Okay, not just like defeating Nandivarman too. So when he saw like that Kailasanatha temple, he must have got thoroughly impressed. So like then he must have discussed it with his wife Lokama Devi, and like okay, it was Lokama Devi who has commissioned to build a temple called Virupaksha temple. Don't confuse with the Virupaksha temple of Vijayanagara dynasty. That is different. This Virupaksha temple, so it is of the Western Chalukya dynasty. Okay, so like that is different. Okay, see, we have seen many great rulers. Okay, so like even with respect to Pallavas as well, this Parmeshwara Varman, okay, although first he gets defeated by Chalukya rulers, later like he comes again wins back against the same opponents. But okay, like there are a lot of rulers here. Pulkeshi too, great ruler, defeat Pallavas. Narasimha Varman one, great ruler, defeated Chalukyas. Okay, so like this again, Vikramaditya one, great ruler, defeated Pallavas. Okay, Parmeshwara Varman first gets defeated, then defeats. Okay, so like then again Vikramaditya too, again defeats Pallavas. Okay, so like ಜಗಳ ಆಡ್ತಾನೆ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿ. ಲೈಕ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಸಿ ನೇಬರಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. You could have seen it here, right? The map of Chalukyas and Pallavas, neighboring. Correct. So like that would have allowed them to continuously engage in these battles. Okay. So like you must be knowing that neighbors will always fight. Take India's case for example. Okay. So like forget about India's case. Just like see around like your homes. Must be happening, no? All this is a reality. Okay, so there are so many personalities. Okay, but if UPSC wants to ask a question, okay, so do you know whom it will pick? Not the person who has emerged victorious, but there will come a person called Mahendravarman I. Okay, I told you about Bharavi, who has written a work called Kirtarjunaya. Okay, so like he was there in the court of Pallava king Mahendravarman. Yeah. So like this Mahendravarman, he is known with a lot of nicknames. His son Narasimhavarman himself is known as Vatapikonda Mamalla. Mamalla is the greatest wrestler. Wrestler. Okay, he must have been a great wrestler. That's why he also took the name of Mamalla. We know like Pulkeshi too. He took the name of Parmeshwara. Okay, so you can understand like there are many rulers. But if UPSC wants to ask a question, so like they would be like more interested to ask a question about Mahendravarman than all the rulers. Although Mahendravarman lost, correct. Although Mahendravarman has lost, but like they will still be asking question with respect to Mahendravarman. The reason is simple. Okay, so like this Mahendravarman, okay, he was able to so like do a lot of art and architectural contribution. He took a lot of nicknames. Okay, so one of the nicknames is Vichitra Chitta. Vichitra Chitta, it means like one with a curious mind. Okay, he is also known as Chitrakara Puli. Chitrakara plus Puli. Puli is like tiger. It means tiger amongst artists. Okay, he also took a title called Mattavilasa because he has written a Sanskrit work known as Mattavilasa. He is also known as Chaityakari. It means, see, what is Chaitya? Place of worship with respect to Buddhism. Okay, so like here, like if you want to just expand the horizons, it is nothing but Chaitya it can be also equivalent to temples. This we have talked about. So like Chaityakari, it means like the one who builds greatest temples. Okay, so like this Mattavilasa, Chaityakari, Vichitra Chitta. Okay, so Vichitra Chitta is one who has a curious mind. Do you want to be Vichitra Chittas? Everyone. You should be. You should try to be. Okay, because Vichitra Chitta is like curious mind, like this curiosity, innate curiosity. So like that's what actually help you learn lot of things. You need to be curious about things. Okay. So if there is one characteristics which you need to develop if you want to clear these exams, KPSC or UPSC, you should start becoming curious. There is a lot to learn from this person, although like he has lost to Pulkeshi too, Mahendra Varman. So there is a lot to learn about him. Okay. This is it. This is it with respect to Chalukyas and Pallavas. Okay. Understood what dynasty this is? So I told you about architectural contributions, right? Pattadkallu. Okay, so it has been constructed by Chalukya rulers. So within Pattadkallu, there is a group of 10 temples. All these 10 temples have been given a status of UNESCO World Heritage Site. UNESCO World Heritage Site. Okay, so like see how beautifully they have constructed temple. See, just 200, 300 years back. Okay, so like this must have been in 8th century. Okay, so like in 5th century, we have seen the temples in last class, Gupta's temples. So like those temples haven't reached to its zenith, right? Okay, but here you can see that how beautifully it has been constructed. All these have been constructed 1300 years back. This is Kailasnatha temple, which is there in Kanchipuram. Where is Kanchipuram? Tamil Nadu. Okay, so like this Kanchipuram used to be the Kanchi is to be the capital of Pallava dynasty, not Tamil Nadu. Okay, Pallava dynasty. See again, like the Pallava dynasty temples, beautiful, right? Yeah. Shall we say some questions? We have talked about a lot of things. Okay, not in just today's class. I usually want to start with the class with questions, whatever we have discussed in the earlier day. But I wanted to tell you about these two dynasties and like this idea, okay, how to see from the lens of art and architecture when you are preparing for an exam. That will come very handy because you will come across so many rulers and not all rulers are important in spite of like the wars they might have won. Okay, so like obviously like you need to know that. Okay, more than that, it is going to be the art and architectural contribution. Seeing the history from through that lens going to fetch you a lot of marks. Okay, so answer this. This has been asked in UPSC 2025. Chandragupta, two. Anyone has any doubt? No. So very simple question. Hello question. Okay, so this could have gotten in like few seconds, 10, 15 seconds. There is nothing to like read. There is not a lot to read. Okay. This also I have told you. Pradeshika, Rajuka, and Yukta. They are district level administration in the Ashokan Empire. Yeah. What about this? They are asking a question based on ascending order in terms of size. What is the ascending order? Subha Sarkar Karagana. So see, what do you mean by ascending order? Big to small alla. Ascending antandre small to big. It's not other way around. Descending andre big to small. Okay. So here like they are asking a question ascending. So like you have to arrange it small to bigger unit of administration within the Mughal period. That is sir. No. Ascending order ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ question. Pargana, Sarkar, Subha. Subha is the highest unit. I told you, Subhas are nothing but the present day states. Okay, consider Subhas as the present day states. Yes, you can remember. Okay, but there is one more S, Sarkar, but like that, present day districts. Okay, Parganas, further smaller units. Okay, understood here. Okay, what do you mean by all these things? How, getting some clarity. Okay, see, one thing which is emerging out, sort of theme is emerging out. Okay, so that is the unit of administration can become important questions. You see it, right? With respect to Mughals, they have asked. With respect to Ashokas, they have asked. Whenever like the kingdom is huge, okay, how they must have been administered. So like there is a theme that's been emerging out. Correct. Okay. So now you know, like, okay, examiner will think on this turn. Okay. So argue everybody. I don't know. So okay, it's getting recorded now, so it's fine. But the thing is, so now examiner will think on the terms. You know it, right? So now, like you were like empowered with AI's artificial intelligence. So give a prompt. Okay. So consolidate as every kingdom. Okay. So like the most important kingdoms, whatever like we have kingdom, we have seen a lot of kingdoms. Guptas we have seen. Okakas we have seen. Okay. We have seen Mauryas. We have seen Shatvanas. Okay. We'll see many other kingdoms. We have seen Chalukyas. Right. So we've seen Pallavas. Like we'll again see Rashtrakutas. So Rashtrakutas, although Karnataka kingdom. Okay. So it controlled up to portions of Kannauj. Kannauj in present day Uttar Pradesh, UP. So Kannauj used to be the capital of Harshavardhana. Before Harshavardhana, who used to rule Kannauj? Not Rudrasena. Rudrasena is a ruler related to Vakataka dynasty. Maukaris. It used to be Maukaris, okay, who used to like rule this Kannauj. Okay, so the thing is, you can understand, like this Rashtrakuta dynasty also must have gained a lot of territories. So like then how they used to be administered, that can be a question. Like you will also see Imperial Cholas, how like that used to be administered, that can be a question. Okay, give this prompt to AI. Okay, so consolidate your notes, all the kingdoms. Okay, so like with respect to administration, make a table. That table is going to be really helpful. Okay, so see, first you need to have a sort of skeleton information with respect to history. Once it is taken care of, so like then actually, so build these kind of things. So then like keep revising those things. You have to consolidate your notes in such a manner that within 20-25 pages or max like 30 pages. So you should consolidate both like ancient as well as medieval. That's the art, it. That's the trick. Okay, it takes but yeah. So like if you write, if you make your notebook 300 pages, so like that is not called your notebook. That will be called as book. So it'll be just like okay, replicating whatever is there in book. That's not going to aid you well when you are revising the things. Okay, understood? Understood this concept? Okay, so shall we move ahead? Yeah. So this, which of the following statements is correct? Gorgov, Wagora River. Okay. So again, one more thing. Geographical features with historical sites. Okay. Geographical features might be rivers, okay, or like hills. Okay. So like then historical sites. Combine. Whenever you see, like the whole point of these classes which you are getting is okay, how to deal with this subject. Okay. Do you think like you will get all this in YouTube? So you understand. Okay. So this combined, like imagine like how less time you will spend on the history subject now if you consolidate the things on this line. Who among the following rulers in ancient India had assumed the titles Matta Vilasa, Vichitra Chitta, and Gunabara? Mahadeva, Mahendra Varman. Okay. So see, when this question must have been asked. Do you know? Understand how to read history, getting some ideas. The answer is Mahendra Varman. Okay. See the next question. We have talked about something called guilds or shrenis last class. Okay. We have talked about two concepts. One is Visti. Visti is a forced labor. Okay. So that can act as a oh, Visti is a forced labor that can act as a revenue to the state. Because like state is getting the job done without paying that person. So like then it's nothing but revenue. Like if it is getting job done and if it's also paying the salary, so like then that system like state is not gaining anything, right? But here, like in terms of forced labor, it will gain anything. It will gain that thing. Okay, so like it's like a sort of revenue here. So what is guilds? I told you guilds are organization associations, just like you can create a teachers association, students associations. These guilds are traders association. Okay, and they could have, like they had the power to frame rules for themselves. They also had judicial powers. Okay, uh, in simple terms, they used to work as autonomous organizations. Okay, so like ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ power ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So you must have heard about like autonomous colleges, autonomous universities. Like they will have the power to decide what should be the curriculum, when should be the exam date, who should be evaluating that paper. Okay, so like you got to know, and like did you understand the meaning of the term? So like autonomous. Okay, like these used to work as autonomous. Now try to answer this. Like I have already discussed in yesterday's class. Still like repeating it for your sake, so you can give me the answer. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬೇಗ. You can't keep wasting time because I will have to talk about three dynasties. Then I will have to move on to the Delhi Sultanates as well. Authority of state, and the king was the chief administrative authority of them. If king is chief administrative authority, can we call them as autonomous? No, wrong, right? So this is gone. So that is like D gone. D gone. So A gone. So you are left with B and C. So within this 2 and 3 statements, which is the statement you shouldn't read in the exam hall?
Option 3.
No. Yeah, so like option 3, you shouldn't. Statement 3. So option 3 is this one, C. Okay, but the statement 3, you shouldn't read in exam hall because like 3 is common for both option B and C. Understood? Okay, is it getting cleared how to like solve the question in the exam hall? Okay, so like this you won't see in the exam hall. Okay, so but then it must be right. Okay, don't waste time in the exam hall. But here you can read it. So like they had judicial power, its own members. Okay, so like the wages, rules of work, standards and prices were fixed by the guild. That is also true. I told you. So like they had the power to frame the rules for themselves. Okay, so then it also becomes true. Option is C. Oh, nice question. Answer. What we are talking about, rise of Harshavardhana. Okay, and decline of Guptas. After decline of Guptas, until the rise of Harshavardhana, which are those dynasties that ruled India? Simple question. Okay, they were there. Guptas of Magdas were there. Okay, they were there. Okay, so then Makwaris of Kanosh, they were there. Okay, so then they were there. Parmaras were there. Try to remember the map which we have seen. According to you, like these people were there, right? Maukaris were there. So Maitrakas were there. So is there any option which is having, okay, they were also there? That is true. Okay, answer is 1346. Okay, this Malwa, later kingdom. Okay, Yadavas of Devgiri, again later kingdom, 12th 13th century. Okay, so like that you will see it when you start reading about the medieval India. Okay, so like this Parmars of Malwa, again 9th and 10th century. We know the time period of Harshavardhana, that is 606 to 647. So like then by that time he must not have been there. Okay, so getting the clarity. Okay, see this, it can be solved in other ways as well. Okay, okay, so like how it can be solved? The trick here is simple. Okay, see ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು ಡೈನಸ್ಟಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, okay, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಫ್ಯೂಡೇಟರ್ಸ್ ಗಳಿರ್ತಾರ. Whenever like there will be a dynasty, there will be feudators. So they are saying Guptas of Magda must have been a feudator just by getting to know the name, you can understand these people must be there. Okay, so what is the dynasties of Pushyabhutis? Sorry, what is the dynasties of Harshavardhana? That is Pushyabhuti dynasty. Okay, or Vardhana dynasty. It is also called as Vardhana dynasty. Was he founder of the Vardhana dynasty? No. So like then before that, so before Harshavardhana coming into the power, this dynasty was already there. The question is Harshavardhana power ಬರಕ್ಕಿನ ಮುಂಚೆ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ dynasties ಗಳಿದಾವೆ? Simple question. Okay, so it means you haven't seen the map, you haven't read anything. So just by logic, so like if there is a dynasty, their feudators must be there. And like Guptas of Magda, it is because like the term Gupta is still there in the question, like option itself. So that can be true. So third, so if you just know the dynasty of Harshavardhana, so 1 and 3 should be there in the option. So which there is only one option which has like both 1 and 3. B option. So like all these become wrong. Can you understand? Like through logic also you can clear the exam. Okay. So how will that come? Like how can you get better at that logic? Through practice. Through practice. Okay. Last question. Then after this question, we will move on to the next dynasties. What's the answer?
Option A. Consider the source of income for the status of the tax paid by the people.
Okay, option A. Okay, see, the thing is, again, how UPSC fixed the statement is, it was totally absent in the Madhya Pradesh and Kathiawar region of the Gupta Empire. Actually, it was more prevalent. Okay, not totally absent, more prevalent. They have made it like, see, they will take the statements which are usually there in the book, and if they just want to make it a wrong statement, they will change a word or two. So like the statement which was there in the book was, so like in Kathiawar region, okay, so within the Gupta Empire, so in Madhya Pradesh and in Kathiawar region, so like this Visti is more prevalent. They want to make it as a wrong statement. This is wrong statement. Okay, so that's why like, okay, they have changed like only few words. That becomes wrong. The forced laborer was entitled for weekly wages. Wages kotre, like, how can we call it as forced labor? And eldest son of the laborer was sent as forced labor. Why? What about younger son? Only eldest son should be a laborer. That is a forced labor. No, doesn't make sense. Okay, so like the answer is this one. Understood? Okay, so like, do you understand how many PYQs we must have solved just in these 5 days? Good number of PYQs. Okay, so have you also understood how to solve the questions? Have you understood how to read ancient India? This marks the end of ancient India. India is done now. We are like starting with the medieval India. Okay, 3 most important dynasties of medieval India. Okay, so that is like Rashtrakutas, Palas, and Pratiharas. They are the like 3 most important dynasties of medieval India. Is the session helpful? So do you think history won't be boring and you'll be able to fare well when it comes to history subject in the competitive exams? See, it's all about that confidence. Are you getting that confidence now? Okay, how to consolidate your notes? You got like some insights, some points. Okay, so I mean, few things I don't want it to tell in the camera.
Yes, is to conduct questions.
What?
We can revise everything from ancient India.
Last class, I don't have luxury of time to conduct that. So when I come back, okay, so we will conduct that. Okay, so like the next time I will come back. So we'll conduct the like, proper questions so that like I can make you revise through questions now. Once you know the subject, how to start revising. So that I will make you do when I come back. But now you understood how to read the subject. Okay, so like, shall we move? Okay. See, this is Rashtrakuta dynasty. Okay, I told you Rashtrakutas were nothing but the feudators of Chalukya dynasty. Okay, but we come across a person called Kirtivarman II, who was the last ruler of Chalukya dynasty. So whenever there is a weak ruler, okay, what will these feudators will do? They will assert their independence. Okay, so like they were feudators first. Then, like, okay, because there is weak ruler in Chalukya dynasty, they asserted their independence. That led to them becoming an independent kingdom. Okay, so as you can see, like they ruled some part of Karnataka up to Kannauj. At one point of time, they were like reached up to Kannauj. Can you see like, okay, so Karnataka, some part of Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, okay, Maharashtra, okay, Ellora and all, this is in Maharashtra. So like this again, so you know like Narmada River, so that is in Madhya Pradesh. Okay, so like a place called Ujjain, like Madhya Pradesh, right? And like the place of Kannauj, it is in the dynasty that started from Karnataka. So it was able to rule over half of the India. You can see like, okay, so if there is one dynasty that ruled half of India, so like that is Rashtrakuta. One Kannada dynasty, so that has ruled half of India, so that is Rashtrakutas. So like, do you know what are the capital cities of Rashtrakutas? First capital used to be Mayurakundi, Mayurkhandi. Okay. So like Mayurkhandi. Okay. Mayurkhandi. Okay. So like then the next capital, it was changed to Maneketa. Manekeda. Okay. So during the reign of Amogavarsha. Amagavarsha Nrupatunga. So during his reign, so like this second capital has been created. This dynasty, which ruled at least 7, 8 states, the Kannada dynasty. So like the capital was Manekeda. Manekeda. Okay. So like it was Amoghoshan Rupatunga who changed that capital city. Okay. So do you know where is this Manekeda? Have you come across a taluk called as Sedam? Where is Sedam? Here. Near to Gulbarga. So within Sedam, there is a village now. Okay. So its new name is Malkhad. Malkhed. So like the Malkhed is nothing but earlier Manekeda. Manekeda. Do you understand one thing? Okay, so where you are living, so like there are a lot of things. The Ashokan dynasty which we have seen, Kanganalli inscription, Nim district ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. This dynasty's capital city, although right now it has been turned into a village, there must have been forts. If you're curious, okay, so like just go there. It's 50 kilometers. Okay, right now it's just a village, but like the fort will be still existing, no, that have been built in the 8th century. You can see the timeline 753 to 983, 8 to like mid of 8 to 10th century. So that like, okay, that is the time period of this Rashtrakutas. I mean, can you understand? Okay, so like the place you are living is filled with such a rich history. Very aware of these things. No, so never got curious what's there in my district. There are so many dynasties. This place of Gulbarga, so it has a history of almost 2,500 years. Later also, like, okay, one of the medieval kingdom that is called as Bahmani kingdom. They have also like ruled this place, and this used to be the first capital of Bahmanis. Later, like it got shifted into Bidar. Before that, like this was the capital. Just dynasties. What a like rich place of history we're coming from. I mean, I'm envious. Like, okay, so although like the present district I am in, so like it also has a rich history. Yeah, but like this place, it it used to be a place of proper history where like history used to be made. Can you imagine? Like, okay, so when like these Rashtrakutas king wanted to conquer Kannauj, the plan would have made just like 40 kilometers away from you people. Mind blowing, right? Mind boggling facts. Okay, so like these things are here only. We just have to like go out. Okay, so like we have to explore things. Let's see. So like by the next time I will come back here. Okay, so either we'll arrange a class trip. Okay, so where we will go and cover all these things in one day. Or before that also you can take your own initiation. Go out, explore. 30 kilometers ಹೋಗ್ ಬರ್ಬೋದು. You can like definitely take one day out of your life. I know you are like very busy people. Still, you can take one day out of your life. Okay. How this dynasty came into power? So, like it is through person called Tanti Durga. The founder of the Rashtrakuta dynasty is Tanti Durga. Okay. So, after death of Tanti Durga, the person who got the power is uncle of Tanti Durga. This Krishna one again, he must have thought like, okay, he's more suitable. Okay, so Danti Durga, although he's founder. Okay, so like after this founder, then Krishna thought, okay, so I will accept the power. Do you think uncles are always good people? Huh? See the story of Mangalesha, uncle of Pulkeshitu. He didn't give back the power to Pulkeshitu, right? We have seen that story where like he didn't give back the power to Pulkeshitu, and there emerged a power struggle between these two people. Ultimately, it was Pulkeshitu that emerged victorious. Okay, so like this Krishna one is uncle. Okay, so like then one of the great ruler is also like Dhruva Dharavarsha. Okay, so like it is under his reign. Okay, don't write all of the things. Okay, so like listen to classes. Like I will give you the time. Whenever like it is important thing, I'll tell you. Yeah. So for example, when it comes to Krishnavan, so he has commissioned a temple called Kailasanath temple, which is built in Ellora. This you can write. Okay. See, you should start to get to know what are the things that you should start writing. For example, I told you about a temple called Virupaksha temple. Okay, so like it was commissioned by wife of Vikramaditya too. What is her name? That can be a question. Okay, that you should have written. Her name is Loka Mahadevi. Loka Mahadevi. Okay, so that's the name of the person who has commissioned this Virupaksha temple. Okay, so like this Kailasanath temple, which was built in Ellora. Okay, the patronage was given by a person called Krishnavan. That can be a question. Okay, so like either the question can be about the person who has built it. Okay, or the question can be about the structural aspects of this Kailasanath temple. See, you heard this temple of Kailasanath temple, no? Like within the class just now. You should get curious. What is this temple? How it must be looking? So like when you go back home, okay, you should go and check. Okay, what are the architectural features of this temple? So that is how you make your learning interesting. Or else like it will like studies will feel like burden. Studies shouldn't feel like burden because you will get to know many things that should give good dopamine, okay, good energy for you people to keep concentrating on these things. Understood? Shall I continue? Okay, so like this Govinda 3 is none other than the father of Amoghavarsha Nrupatunga. Govinda 3 is father of Amavarsha Nupatunga. He is also one of the greatest ruler. And like amongst all of these people, if there is one ruler, okay, who is considered like really the greatest of the whole dynasty, that is nothing but Amogavarsha. The school this name, Amogavarsha, the term like must have come across. You must have come across that this term called Amogavarsha. Okay, so like he has written a book called Kaviraja Marga. So like it is one of the earliest work on the Kannada poetics. Okay, and he followed a religion called Jain religion. Okay, so like he followed a Jain religion, Jainism. Okay, so that is Amogavarshavan. Okay, during one point of time, okay, so like this Amogavarshavan had a daughter. Her name is Chandrobalabbe. Chandrobalabbe. At one point of a time, although she was a daughter, so she was the one who was ruling Raichur Doab. Maybe this place might have included in that. Okay, within this Raichur Doab. So like then you can understand. So like this also should give some inspiration to the women of this region. because like you also had a woman ruler. You can become, now you can't become a ruler. You can definitely become a leader. I told you, when it comes to women's representation in parliament, it is only 14%. What is the population of women? In India, the population is 49%. Okay, so like then don't you think like the representation should also be more? 14% is too less, right? So that's why like we have come up with a new amendment. Okay, you can go back and like read about that amendment, 106 Constitutional Amendment Act, that is trying to give representation, 33% representation to women. Okay, 1/3 of the seats reserved for women. Okay, so this Chandrobalabbe at one point of time, so like she ruled place called Raichur. Okay, is it clear? Whatever like we are discussing, and he himself was a author. Okay, he has written a book called Kaviraj Marga. Okay, so like then there are other rulers who followed him. Okay, so like Indra too, he was also able to defeat many Pala Pratihara rulers. Okay, and like this Krishna too, Krishna 3. Okay, not just like Pala Pratihara rulers. Okay, he was able to defeat a imperial Chola rulers as well. Okay, imperial Cholas ಇಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ಬಂದು ರೂಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. They will be ruling Tamil Nadu. Okay, so like a part of Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. That's where like these people will be ruling. Okay, so there, okay, so you will come across a ruler called Parantaka one. Okay, that Parantaka one got defeated by this person called Krishna 3. Okay, so like after that, like you will find some rulers. Indra 3, Indra 4 is the last great ruler of like Rashtrakutas. After that, you will still find like some other rulers. Yeah, so like this you need to remember. Okay, patronize Kannada literature and poets like Pompa Panna. So, school allidaga Kannada textbook alli you must have read about these peoples. Okay, who have been considered as three Ratnas of Kannada. Okay, that is Pampa, Panna, Ranna. So all these three people, okay, considered as three Ratnas of Kannada literature. Okay, they were there in the court of Rashtrakutas, like within the Rashtrakutas, like the King Krishna 3. And like it was Krishna 3 that was able to defeat imperial ruler. His name is Parantaka 1. Okay, you don't need to remember, like you just need to remember he was able to defeat many rulers. Krishna 3. So within that, okay, he was also able to defeat imperial Cholas. If you don't even remember Parantaka 1, so at least remember like he was able to defeat imperial Cholas. So is it clear? Okay. I told you about Kailasnath temple, no? Okay. So like before constructing, so this was all, see, this was all like nothing but a cave, nothing but a full mountain. It is, you can see even now, okay, so like this is all nothing but mountain. And like these are peoples. So like they are looking really small in this picture. So is it somewhat clear? You can see that, right? Here is nothing but it's a mountain. Okay. So like this story is also interesting. Once like the person who used to be the main architecture of this Kailasnath temple, Ellora Kailasnath temple, he challenged that I will build a shikara within a week. Shikara. See, yesterday we have seen temples architecture, some aspects of temple architecture. I told you where the deity will be present. That used to be called as Garbhagriha. Okay, so like then above that there will be a structure called shikaras. Okay, so like then there will be a circulatory path, and also attached to Garbhagriha there used to be a place called Antarala, where like you will stand and worship the god. Okay, that is Antarala. Then other to Antarala there will be Mantapas, where you can come and sit after visiting the temple. This you must be knowing. Okay, so like these are the terms. Okay, but you have to understand, because so like these are the different aspects of the temple architecture. Okay, so like he said that the architecture of this Ellora temple said that I will build shikara within a week. People were like, "Arey, how it can be possible?" Not at all. Like, okay, so there's no way that you'll be able to build a temple, because when you build a structure, how will you build it? When you build a structure, you will build it from, so first lay a foundation. So like then maybe like okay, sort of like steps, plinth or something like that. So like then there will be like okay mandapa. Okay, so like then pillars. So after everything is done, like then antarada done, then garbhagriha done, then you will build a shikara. Okay, so but he's saying I'll build a shikara within a week. So like everyone said, like that's not going to be a possibility. How can you build like whole shikara within a week? Okay, so like then what happened was, okay, so like what happened was instead of like okay building from bottom up, they built it from top down. Okay, so like imagine this as a mountain. They just called, and the first structure they were made was like shikara. That is how like the shikara was built in 1 week. We don't know whether the story is real or not, but one thing that is for sure that emerges out of this story is okay. So like this temple was built top. Huh?
It's carved in mountain.
Yeah, it carved in completely mountain. You can see like this is presently mountain as well. No, so like this. See here within a mountain. Like see like this must be a bottom. Okay, so like where the temple is built. So all this is mountain. This still you can see mountains.
So,
It used to be the part of mountain. Okay, so like they see. Okay, so like imagine this is mountain. Okay, within that, like just imagine. Okay, so like I'm not good at diagrams. I don't need to be. Okay, so like just for your imagination, see, like a mountain can be like that. They start carving the mountain. Okay, so like then they must have built shikara, or like then they must have built like other structure, and it must be looking like that. Okay, so still you can see like other parts of mountains. They would have carved it from top down. There was complete blank mountain will be there. Okay, within that mountain, like they would have carved it. Oh, can you imagine how difficult it must have been? Okay, very difficult, no? To carve the mountain. Okay, that too from top down. See the skills. Okay, so which is the who is the Rashtrakuta ruler who is commissioned the construction of this Kailasnatha temple? So like those can become the questions at the capital city. Okay, who was the ruler? Okay, so who changed the capital city to Manakeda or Manaketa? That is present day. No. Sedam is a taluk. Malkate. Okay, so like this Manaketa, who is that person who changed the capital city to present day? Okay, Malkate. That is Manaketa. Amogarshan Rupatunga. He was the ruler, right? ಅವನೇ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಲೈಕ್ ಓಕೆ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಸಿಟಿನ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ನೇಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಮೋಘ ವರ್ಷಸ್ ಡಾಟರ್ ಹೂ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ರೋಲ್ಡ್ ರಾಯಚೂರ್ ದೋ ಚಂದ್ರೋಬಲಬ್ಬೆ
so
difficult to remember. Okay, so but at least remember as Amogha Varsha's daughter. Okay, no, it is fine. Chandroba plus Labbe. Divide the name and remember. Okay, so see some few things like you have to remember. You have to put in effort. Okay, so like things won't be easy, but like still you need to put that effort. Okay, so is it clear? Shall we move ahead? Okay, so like this is the temple which has been built by. You didn't give the answer. I started asking other questions like you thought fine. Who is the person? Krishna. Krishna 3 is the last ruler. Krishna 1, not 3. Okay, Krishna 3, like I told you, the one who defeated the imperial Cholas, Karantaka 1. That is Krishna 3. Okay, don't confuse. Yeah, so there are 3 dynasties, okay, that struggle to control a place called Kanauj. Okay, can you see the dynasties? Look at the map. Okay, so there are 3 dynasties that struggled to control a place called Kanauj. Okay, so we have seen the map of Rashtrakutas from here to Kanauj. Okay, so like then which are like other 2 dynasties that struggle to control this place called Kanauj? They are Palas and Gurjara Pratiharas. Gurjara Pratiharas, Palas and Gurjara Pratiharas. Okay, so as you can see, like there is a map. Okay, so like this is Gurjara Pratiharas, this is Palas, this is Rashtrakutas. We have seen the information with respect to Rashtrakutas. Okay, so I have told you there are rulers who was able to defeat both Palas and Prathiyaras. That's the reason they would have controlled that place called Kanauj, right? So like, for example, there is Dhruva Dharavarsha. Okay, before Govinda 3. Okay, so like you must have seen the name of Dhruva Dharavarsha. Okay. Don't make things difficult for yourself. See, this thing. Okay. Who must have been a grandfather of this Amagarsha? Dhruva Dharavarsha. Okay. So like he was able to defeat both Pala Pratihara rulers. Okay, other kings as well. Maybe even this guy. Okay, Krishna 3. Even he would have been able to defeat both Pala and Pratiharas. Okay. I was talking about this. I was talking about Kanauj triangle. Okay, and which three dynasties that struggled and that fought amongst each other to control the place? Rashtrakutas, Palas, and Pratiharas. Okay, is it clear? Shall we move on? Okay, so like there is Pala dynasty. Okay, Pala dynasty. Yeah, you know, like let's talk about Pala dynasty and briefly we'll talk about Gurjara Pratiharas. Okay. This you can see like okay, Pala dynasty, which is the place? It's fine.
No.
Huh?
No. Well,
Present day India ಒಳಗೆ so like this like the map of India, no? Okay. Again, it's something like this. So this is present day map of India. So which state they must be used like controlling the Palas? Bihar, because like you see a place called Magadha. So like then this place West Bengal. Okay, they were the rulers. So that started controlling Bihar, Bengal, and also some part of Uttar Pradesh because Kanauj is there in Uttar Pradesh. Is it clear? Okay. Is it clear? Okay, so like this, you know, we have talked about one ruler, okay, that got defeated and killed by Harshavardhana. What is his name? Who used to be controlling the place called Gauda? Gauda. One who cut off the Bodhi tree. So many examples I'm giving. One who cut off Bodhi tree and one who was able to. Come on, think. Who was that ruler? Okay, so that got defeated by Harshavardhana. Okay, who used to be controlling a place called Gauda, Gauda. Okay, he is also, I mean, infamous, not famous, infamous for cutting off this Bodhi tree. Being famous is okay. Being infamous is not that good, no? But what must have been the name of that guy? His name is Shashanka. Shashanka of Gauda. This I have told. When it comes to when we were talking about Harshavardhana, we talked about that. Okay. See, why Shashanka? I am bringing up Shashanka again here. There is a reason. Okay. This Shashanka, after death of Shashanka, okay, who was controlling a place called Gauda, Bengal. Okay. So like he, after like his death, that whole region of Bengal. Okay. After like okay, he died. This Shashanka, after like death of Shashanka, this whole region of Bengal that fell into. There were like no great rulers. Okay, like the law and order in that region was like really bad. The law and order of the region in Bengal, okay, that was really bad because there are no rulers. Imagine. Okay, so what will happen in present day time if there are no leaders, if there is no police, if there is no police system, and if there is no judicial system? Everyone follow their own way, and like that will lead into a lot of conflicts. Okay, so like then like the whole country will become lawlessness. Correct ಆಗುತ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ like there will be a lot of things that will be happening, right? So imagine what if like there is no law, there is no one to control it. Here, after the death of Gowda, like after death of Shashanka, okay, so like this Bengal region, there was no great ruler who was able to control. Everyone was on their own. It means like the thing you need to understand here is, okay, so what is that thing like you need to understand here? So like this, like the ruler, okay, after like there were like other people, so that started to harass or like, see, they started to harass and torment other peoples. One who was stronger started to harass one who was weaker. That's happened, no, because like there is no controlling authority above. Here there is no controlling authority above, so like, then that must have happened. Okay, so like, that's what actually happened here. After like death of Shashanka, this region, like there were no great rulers, so that's why like there was lawlessness. Okay, so that's why like the term like that's used in the history, it's Matsyanaya. Matsya, what is Matsya? That is fish. Okay, Matsyanaya is like fish, bigger fish eating the smaller fish. Get stronger, so you can do any atrocities. That's Samatsanaya. That was the situation of this Bengal region. Okay, then they have to somehow find out a person who can make this, who can control this Bengal region. Correct. So like then they can't find someone who is really weak. They have to find like really strong ruler, okay, who can control properly control the Bengal region. Okay, so like there are a lot of stories. Okay, see, whenever you see the origin stories of the kings, you'll have to understand that there will be a lot of stories. Okay, so some will be mythical stories. One story used to be, okay, so whenever a leader got elected, okay, whenever a leader was chosen in this Bengal region, so like that leader, after getting chosen by these people of the Bengal region, he used to get eaten up or used to die, okay, in hands of the demon. Okay, they were looking for a one person. Okay, so like they found out one person. His name is called Gopala. Gopala. Okay, his name is called Gopala. Okay, and like he is democratically elected leader of Pala dynasty and also considered as the founder of the Pala dynasty. So you can see like, okay, in the year 750. Okay, so like he founded the dynasty. He founded the dynasty through the help of people because it was people that elected him. Okay, according to story, like I told you about demon, right? So like they were looking for a person who could defeat the demon. And it is understood that like this person, Gopala, has the ability to defeat the demon. Okay, so this might be a mythical story, but like what's the real thing is, okay, so like he got chosen by the people. This like, okay, the person, huh? What? People of West Bengal, yeah, people of Bengal, like now let's not call West Bengal. West Bengal is the term which we can call after 1905. That's when like these idiots came and okay, so like because of no reason, like no fault of Indians, like they divided that Bengal region. That was like 1905. Okay, so bad day for India. Okay, so that's when like this song of Vande Mataram came out. So you must be curious, no? You must have heard that song. Okay, so who is the person who has wrote that song? No. So never curious about these things. The things that has shaped us, shaped our history. ಚಿಕ್ಕೋರಿದ್ದಂಗೆ ಕೇಳಿರ್ತೀರಾ. Either on the Independence Day or Republic Day, you must have heard this. Okay, look into it. Okay. You want me to tell the answer? Or will you go back and check? You can check. Okay. I can tell. Okay, so don't have the interest to go back and like check. It hardly takes 2 seconds to Google, no? The person who has wrote this, yeah. So like it is anyways a person called Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. Must have heard, but like forgotten. Yeah. So like he has wrote song Vande Mataram. Okay, to unite the people. Okay, he wrote it like, okay, not in the later times. It was wrote during when Bengal was divided. Okay, so we'll come back. We'll come back to this Bengal region. So as you said, like West Bengal, like okay, I suddenly remembered that. When like from what time we can call it as West Bengal? Earlier, like it is just Bengal. Okay, until 905, all that region is just Bengal, not West Bengal. West Bengal is like only from after 1905. Okay, here like we are in 8th century. Okay, let's not jump ahead and think of okay, so West Bengal. So like this is Bengal region. Okay. So, Pala dynasty can be a beautiful topic to be asked in the question. So, because it is the last dynasty which has given patronage to Buddhism. After 10th century, so like virtually the religion of Buddhism got extinct in India. Okay. After 10th century, the religion of Buddhism virtually got extinct in India. Okay, and like this is the last dynasty. So yesterday we have talked about one dynasty. See, even the founder of the dynasty. Okay, so he also credited with building a monastery in Odantapuri, which is there in Bihar. Don't write it. Okay, so Odantapuri, so which is there in Bihar. He also constructed a like this monastery. Monastery is again so the place where Buddhists can stay. Okay, worship. So that is the monastery. Okay, so like there will be a lot of monasteries. So you can go and check. I mean, visit some of the monasteries whenever like you get a time and chance. Are you understanding few things? So like the things which are surrounding us, okay, how all of them have great history. Are you able to understand this fact? Okay. Am I using too much of English? Do you want me to switch sometimes? No? So this is absolutely fine. Okay. So usually I'll be using a lot of Kannada as well in my class. So with today's class, I felt I've been just using English. So that's why I asked. I mean, I can continue as long as like you're understanding. Because language is just a medium. Okay. My thought should reach you. Okay. Language doesn't matter. Okay. The thought is what matters. Okay. It should reach you. You should be able to understand it. Okay, so this language is just a medium. There's no point giving a lot of respect to the English. Okay, so because it's just a medium. What matters is what's inside us. Okay, so like your ideas, okay, your thought process, they are like what makes you like an individual, not just the ability to talk fluent English. Okay, so let's not talk about English. Okay, so we'll come back to this Pala dynasty. So you can definitely expect a question, and already like UPSC mains question has been asked on this topic of Pala dynasty and like their patronage given to Buddhism.
Yesterday you said the Shakyamuni transferred to Buddhism.
Yeah.
Before that, what he was
He must have been a Shaivite, like the one who was worshipping Shiva, Shaivite. Okay, so like here later he also shifted into so Buddhism. Okay, so after he met Huyen Sang must have converted him Harshavardhana to Shaivite. Okay, are you able to understand these things? Shall I continue? Okay, so we started class very late, right? No, then it must have been more than 10:15. No, I came at 10:15, 10:18. The time was 10:18, and so like the setting of the board took some time. So we must have started class at 10:25 or 10:30. So not so late, not so late. 10:25, 10:30. No, so but it's fine. Okay, only reason I'm telling you is I want to continue before I want to give you a break. Okay, you can tolerate, right? I will give you a break. And anyways, like if you want me to give me a break, I can give you a break. So, but the thing you need to understand is, so you just have like okay, only today and tomorrow, and we have to cover a lot of syllabus. Timing, we'll try to finish it off early. Okay, so as much as early it's possible. It won't be as late as tomorrow. That's for sure. No, at what time you want to go? It's no, that's what I'm saying. It won't be as late as tomorrow. Okay, so like before that, we'll wind it off. Okay, so but I have some target in my mind that I have to conclude. Okay, otherwise it doesn't serve the purpose. Yeah. So like I can just tell, okay, so these are the rulers of Gopala and move on. But will you be able to understand and reciprocate or replicate this in the exam? All the thing that matters is the how I can help you. So when it comes to exam preparation. Okay, so I have to make and like I have to plan in such a manner that okay, so like whatever the things we have been discussing, so that can be helpful for you in exam. Okay, so are you able to understand these things? Okay, shall I continue? Okay, so like the son of Gopala, it is Dharmapala. Okay, so when it comes to Nalanda University, who is the person who has built it?
Krishna.
No, Nalanda University. Krishna one, I told Kailash Natha temple. Yeah, it is Kumaragupta. That is right. Okay. So, but here you see Dharmapala. Okay. He has built Vikramashila University. This can be a question. Must have heard, right? Okay. Done? Okay. So, like, he also has given patronage to Buddhism. Okay. So, like, there is one monastery already constructed by his father. Okay. In Odantapuri, which is there in present day Bihar. He also constructed one more monastery in Odantapuri, same place. Okay, so we can understand like these are the people they now have started giving some patronage to Buddhism. Death for sure then. So like there was no one to take care of Buddhism, right? So but like the rulers of Pala dynasty, they have started to give patronage to Buddhism. Okay, so like the person who followed Dharmapala was Devapala. Okay, so like this Devapala, so like he has given patronage to both Nalanda as well as Vikramashila University. Okay, he has earmarked okay 5 villages. Okay, so like and the revenue from those 5 villages would have gone to the day-to-day expenses of these two universities. Okay, and see which are the 3 schools of Buddhism, 3 important sects of Buddhism, 3 important subsects. What are they? Three sects of Buddhism: Hinayana, Mahayana, Vajrayana. So like this Vajrayana that I told you tantric cult, it got developed in Tibet. Okay, so like the people, so like these people didn't just give patronage to the universities. This Nalanda and Vikramashila both are considered as Buddhist university. Rather, they have also given time and like they have also sent. Okay, so like the see just like Ashoka, how he sent people to propagate the religion. So like these people, okay, so like these Pala dynasty rulers, they have also sent people. So like this Vajrayana Buddhism, Vajrayana school of sect can be propagated in other places. Okay, so that is Devapala. Can you see like there is time gap, some more time gap? Hmm? So I wrote 850 here. So from like for here like I have directly written 988. So like what does that mean? Like there are many insignificant rulers. What do you wanted to say? Same thing. Like yeah. So there was they got see they were insignificant rulers. That's the reason they got defeated by Pratiharas as well as Rashtrakutas. Whenever like the great ruler will be there, they will also win war against Pratiharas as well as Rashtrakutas. But here you see that like after Devapala, okay, so like there is a lot of time gap, almost 138 years time gap. Okay, here you won't find many like okay, so significant rulers of Pala dynasty. Okay, for example, like Devapala's son, Vikramapala. Okay, so this Vikramapala wanted to become a saint. Okay, he didn't actually continue becoming a king. So like he didn't took up the dynasty. Okay, he left. So like then Vikramapala's son Narayan Pala, he was also insignificant ruler. He got defeated by both Pratiharas as well as like Rashtrakutas. Okay, that name I haven't written there. Okay, so because like they are not that significant rulers. Okay, the contribution like that have been given by them is not that important. And like exam is not a place where you can just by heart the all rulers of Palas. Not going to serve any purpose. Okay, so like you have to understand which are those rulers that can come in the exam. Okay, so and with respect to dynasty as a whole, also you should have some picture. Okay, so you are understanding what is this Pala dynasty? Any doubt here? No. Okay, so like then there is Mahipala. Okay, who later consolidated this empire of Palas. Okay, so like then Ramapala. There is a book called Ramacharita. It is based on the life of Ramapala. Okay, so the homework for you people is to identify the person who has authored this book, Ramacharita book. So there must have been an author. Okay, so like identify who is the author of Ramacharita book. So which is based on the life story of Pala ruler. His name is Ramapala. Okay. Then there is a ruler called Madanapala. Okay, so like he is one of the last significant ruler with respect to Pala dynasty. See, this I will just actually give you some hint. Okay, we'll finish it off and we'll take a break. 5-10 minutes, we are done. We'll take a break. Okay, so you can recharge yourself. Isn't it interesting? The class you're able to like get a lot of aspects, right? So like you were able to understand and find like link connections. Okay, see this link and connection. What will help you like remember and regain the paths? Otherwise, like without links and connection, you won't be able to identify all these dynasties because like within last 5 classes, as you can understand, we have covered so much of syllabus. Okay, so like then there are like one more dynasty called Gurjara Pratiharas. Okay, this literal meaning of the term Pratihara is doorkeepers. Anyone has a anyone has read a book called Ramayana or knows the stories which is dealt in a book called Ramayana? Okay, what are the stories that have been dealt? See, like you will come across two people. Okay, Rama and Lakshmana. You know, when Rama wanted to like pursue this like deer, okay, deer. So this Lakshmana acted as a okay gatekeeper, that is doorkeeper. Okay, so in certain aspects, like in certain story of Ramayana, so like he acted as a doorkeeper. Okay, so like these Gurjara Pratihara rulers, okay, they considered descendants of Lakshmanas. Okay, so like this is one of the Rajput kingdom. This Gurjara Pratiharas, one of the Rajput kingdoms, they considered themselves descendants of Lakshmana. Okay, so like Lakshmana is nothing but brother of Rama. Okay, who acted as a gatekeeper for his brother once in Ramayana episode. Okay, so that's where like they take up this name, Gurjara Pratyaras. So as you can see here, so Nagabhatta must have been the founder of the dynasty. Okay, so like there are other leaders like okay Nagabhatta too. So like amongst all these leaders, okay, so like the greatest ruler is Mihir Bhoja. You know, like his story is also very interesting. So first he got defeated by both Palas, okay, as well as Rashtrakutas. This Mihir Bhoja, first he got defeated by both Palas as well as Rashtrakutas. Okay, so later, okay, he consolidated himself and he was able to defeat both Rashtrakutas as well as Palas. Okay, he is called as the greatest ruler of Pratihara dynasties. Okay, so like then there is a person called Mahendra Pala. See, here you don't need to get confused. Literally because like here like there is also name called Mahipala. Okay, this is not a spelling mistake. Okay, so like later rulers of Gurjara Pratihara, so like their last name also ended with Palas. Okay, but like they are Gurjara Pratihara rulers. Okay, not the Pala rulers. Because like the Mahipala here is who acted like who ruled from 9010 to 944 CE. Here Mahipala 988 to 1038 CE. Okay, so don't know like don't know the exact name, but like the thing you need to keep in memory. So like you don't need to get confused just because in exam allalli kuda like if they give a name called Rajapala and see here they can give you a question, right? So like ruler, dynasty. This can be a usual question that can be asked in the exam. Okay, so like and here like they will give some names. Okay, one of the name they can give is Rajapala and like here write that Pala dynasty. So like then like other name like Ramapala. Okay, so again Pala dynasty. Madanapala. See, you're getting right what I'm trying to do here. Okay. Question ಹೆಂಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ತರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Ruler. Okay. Dynasty. Ruler. Okay. One is Ramapala. Second is Madanapala. Next, Rajapala. This is J. Rajapala. Dynasty here, Pala. Exam ಅಲ್ಲಿ like ಒಂದೇ dynasty question ಇರಲ್ಲ. Okay, so like there will be other dynasties, rulers that will be mixed. Here also Pala and here also Pala. The question will be how many of the above statements are correct? Answer will be option A 1, option B 2, option C 3, option D none. Okay, so what should be the answer? Option B 2. So because Ramapala Pala dynasty, Madanapala Pala dynasty, whereas Rajapala he belongs to Pratyahara dynasty. See this like small aspects, but you need to keep in your mind. Okay, so because you see many rulers here who also takes the same name of Palas. Okay, the last name I was telling you about Mihir Boja, the greatest ruler of the Pratyaharas. Okay, so he also took a name called Adi Varaha. Adi Varaha. Okay, Adi Varaha is the first devotee of Lord Vishnu. Okay, Varaha is one of the like form of Vishnu. When you read like Indian history, so you'll come across the Varaha, and you must have come across a song as well, which is there in movie Kantara. Varaha Rupam. So like that is nothing but like dedicated to God Vishnu. Okay, so like that you can try to remember, associate these things. Okay, so like whatever the things that are there in the mainstream right now, so can also help you remember few things. So Varaha is nothing but like one of the form of Vishnu. Okay, and like this Varaha is also considered as the vehicle of the Vishnu. Okay, along with the Garuda. So like this Varaha is also can be considered as one of the vehicles of the Vishnu. Okay, this Adivara is Mihir Boja called himself Adivara. Okay, the first devotee of Lord Vishnu. Okay, so like he is the greatest ruler of Pala dynasty. Okay, any doubt here? So like able to understand what is Palas? Okay, what is Gurjara Pratyaharas? Okay, so what is Rashtrakutas? What this dynasty is all about? Okay, where they got originated, all that. Okay, so shall we take a break then? Okay, so come back. At what time you want to come back? Well, okay. You can come back at 12:30 to 12:33, something like that. Okay. So we'll finish it off 1:45 or something. Okay. The maximum we'll stretch is for 150 or something. Like it will be less than 2. I'll like finish it off. Okay. I will leave the class at 2. Okay. Max 2. It, yeah, you can inform till 2. So yeah, you can come back after 12 minutes. We'll continue. Sure. Okay.
दो बजे छोड़ते हैं जाते हैं। तो इसमें हम 2 बजे लेके हो गए। अब तो बारिश हो गई बच्चे नहीं तो थोड़ा प्रश्न को बोल के रखो। हाँ हाँ
Continue, Manana. What is the last topic we discussed? Pratiharas. Okay, so who are these Pratiharas? The greatest ruler of Pratihara is Mihir Bhoja. Okay, so what about Pala dynasty? When it comes to Pala dynasty, what are the things that you need to know? Things that you should know. You should know. I mean, see, Pala's contribution to Buddhism, very simple. That you should by heart. No, no from heart. Okay, so I told you. So, which is the dynasty that has constructed Nalanda University? Guptas. Okay. So, Vikramashila University. So, within the Pala, who is the ruler credited with constructing this Dharmapala? Okay. So, getting some clarity. So, even like Dharmapala's son Devapala. Okay. He also given patronage to both the university, Nalanda as well as Vikramshila University. So like the Buddhist university, like one of the few greatest universities that existed in ancient India. Sandhyakara Nadi, correct. So that is true. So you checked, you update no, like you update what she said. She has already checked it for you, so you can actually update it. Okay, so you can tell him once, so he can write it as well. Ramacharita. Sandhyakara Nandi. Okay, so shall we move ahead now? Okay, see here. Okay, so like because this is a foundation match. Okay, so like this after Gurjara Pratiharas, we will come across so many dynasties, especially like Rajput kingdoms. Okay, Rajput kingdoms. Just to name a few. So like there are like kingdoms such as like okay Parmars in one of the option which we have seen. Okay, there are Parmars. Okay, there are Chawans. The greatest ruler of Chawan was Prithviraj Chauhan. Okay, so like then there are Tomars. Okay, so like then there is one more dynasty, Chandelas. You know, like Chandelas is the dynasty that is credited with constructing beautiful set of temples. There is like a group of temples called Chausat Yogini and Khajuraho temples. Okay, do you remember like the old parliament building, which was built on the which took inspiration from a Chausat Yogini temple. So that was built in Chausat Yogini temple in Morena, that is which is there in present day Madhya Pradesh. It was built in the dynasties of Chandelas. Okay, so like this year, UPSC mains also has asked a question. That question is about again Chandelas dynasties art and architecture, especially Khajuraho group of temples. Built these temples. Okay, they must have had good knowledge about architecture. They must have had good knowledge about geometry. So like they must have had good knowledge about this what do you say astronomy, how the sun rays should come. Okay, so like which are those days, so like on which like sun rays directly will fall on the deity's face. Okay, so it means they are knowing good amount of information with respect to astronomy. They're really skilled people. And uh, don't you get amazed by the carver skills? This Kailasnath temple, see the sculptures. It was just a mountain. They have carved that whole temple in mountain. You understand the beauty of it, right? How skilled these people must have been. Correct. Okay, see, as common people, the way like they see temples or coins should be different. As an aspirant of competitive exam, the way you see these things, okay, the temples are like this numismatics are the archaeological evidences. See, like especially olden times, the archaeological evidences were so scarce. I mean, some archaeologists, like when you go into kitchen, you see so many artifacts within just one home. You'll find that like there are so many plates, bowls, spoons, everything. So like those are all can be artifacts. If this is some civilization, like some Okay, so generation from future wants to study us. They can know about us from seeing the things what we are using now. Okay, so like the way we ate, what we would have eaten by using these artifacts. But like the olden times, artifacts they used to use, like if it is made up of pottery and all, so don't you think like that time period of that pottery will be like so less? Most of the artifacts would have got destroyed. Still, like these people find that evidences and go and look into it. It's like a sort of discovery. Right? You should also think like that. You ever heard of a name called Sherlock? There is a great series called Sherlock Holmes. He's an agent. Okay, so like this intelligent agent who actually goes and sees the things, identify the things just by like seeing the clues. Reading history is like that. Okay, so like you act as a discovery agents. You go with okay, so this pottery. Okay, so looking like this, the time period must have been that. Okay, so like there is something called carbon dating, which you use to identify the exact dates of these artifacts, the things that have happened so many years back. Okay, so like how do you get to know the exact date? Through this process called carbon dating. Now, like there are improved other types of datings as well. Carbon datings has a certain limitations. Okay, it can be looked up to only certain years. Okay, so that's why like you will come across other datings. ಸ್ಕೂಲಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಬರೀ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಿ ತಾನೆ. So like now we have to see other types of datings as well. When it comes to dating, the younger generation want to see only one type of dating, no? Not the carbon dating. Okay, so see you like again we were discussing about these three dynasties. Parma, like what do you say? Rashtrakutas, Palas, and Pratyaras. Okay, so like later period, you will also see like okay, so many dynasties coming along. Okay, especially Rajput dynasties. Okay, so like Parmars, like Chandelas, okay, like Chauhans, like Chaulukyas of Solanki. Okay, so Chaulukyas are Solankis that used to rule, where like these Solanki people used to rule. They used to rule Gujarat. Okay, where they used to rule? They used to rule from a place called Gujarat. Okay, so like you have come across all these people, right? Okay, so like these are the medieval dynasty. Okay, so like there is one dynasty. See, you know which is the capital of India? India, Delhi. So has Delhi been always a capital? No. So you see, like okay, we have discussed so many dynasties now. Okay, we know Mauryas. Okay, so what was the capital? Patliputra. So what about so Magadhas? Within Magadha, we come across two capital cities. So they are Rajagriha as well as Patliputra. So that is the capital of Magda, Magadhan Empire. Okay, ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ Mauryas ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, like they continued with the Patliputra again. So you also have come across this dynasty called Guptas. Okay, what is the capital cities of Guptas? Prayag. So like with respect to Samudragupta, we have come across a inscription called Allahabad inscription. Okay, which is composed by a person called Harisena, who used to be the court poet. Okay, so like he is also known as Maha Amatya. Okay, so like he has been given so many other titles as well. Mahadandanayaka, Maha Amatya. So like this Harisena. Okay, so like then when we come across a dynasty called Harshavardhana, all these like dynasties, they were ruling nothing but North India, right? So Harshavardhana, what used to be the capital of Harshavardhana? From Taneshwar, he shifted his capital to Kanauj. So like we have never come across a dynasty, okay, where which took this Delhi as their capital. So then you must be curious. Now to Delhi hai capital. Okay, so like there must have been a history with respect to this development of Delhi, and which is the first dynasty that took Delhi as a capital. Do you know which is that dynasty that took Delhi as a capital? So it is Tomars. Thomas, the Rajput kingdom. Okay, it was like okay, Delhi, like they were the people that took Delhi as a capital. Like the famous ruler of this Tomar dynasty is Anangpal Tomar. Anangpal Tomar. You know, like we have come across some like okay, one architectural monument called Mehruli Iron Pillar inscription. to which ruler you can associate this with? Mehruli iron pillar inscription. Vikramaditya, nothing but Chandragupta II, the Gupta ruler. Okay, so like where do you find like this Mehruli iron pillar in the present day? You will find it in Delhi. Okay, and I told you it is like Tomars. Okay, so like Anangpal Tomar, like one of the like famous ruler with respect to Tomar dynasty. Okay, so like they took Delhi as their capital. This Anangpal Tomar. So and he must have seen this Mehruli iron pillar. He got curious. Okay, so like he wanted to check. So what is this artifact? Yeah, so what is there within it? And see, there was one astrologer. Okay, so like what the person who was telling future. Okay, so he told Anangpal Tomar. Okay, so like beneath this this Mehruli iron pillar. So as long as this stands for so many years, you can continue your reign until that many years. Okay, you just have to like keep it strong, keep this Mehruli iron pillar strong. But so like this must have given some curiosity to Anangpal Tomar. Why this person is telling? Okay, for me to keep this Mehruli iron pillar very like strong enough. Okay, so without destabilizing it. Then like he got curious. And so like whenever someone tells you not to do that thing, so like you desperately want to do it, right? Just to prove them wrong. So like he also like okay started to dig that Mehruli iron pillar, and like after going to some depth, okay, he found out the blood stains, okay, on like which is there on that iron pillar. Then he understood that. So then he got scared. What is this? Like why there is blood stain? So the story is that like there is something called Vasuki, who is king of serpents, because he was digging. So like the king of serpent again associated with the god Vishnu. And so like by digging, when he was digging, like okay, so like that blood stain must have been gone onto that iron pillar, and like he got scared. So like then he tried to like keep it as it is, keep the iron pillar as it is. But okay, after taking it out, so it will be somewhat destabilized, right? In Hindi, it is called dhili. In Hindi, it is called dhili. Okay, so like that's where the name of Delhi comes from. Delhi. So it used because this Mehruli iron pillar, it called Delhi. Okay, so like then later, like this Delhi itself turned the name into Delhi. Ever knew about the story of this Delhi or which dynasty it is? Okay, which controlled Delhi? Okay, so like, but we know like okay, so this Tomar dynasty, which was there in the 10th century, their power comes to an end. Okay, that led to so like the Chawan dynasty taking their place and ruling a place called Delhi. Okay, so like this Chawan dynasty, like they used to be the rulers of Rajasthan. So from there, like okay, so once they defeated these Tomars, okay, they started controlling a place called Delhi. Okay, so like Tomars, see, yeah. Before like this Turkish invasion, like there are a lot of stories that has happened in India. So that's what I am trying to concentrate here on. Okay. So like there are Tomars who were controlling Delhi. They got defeated by Chawans. Chawans are like Chamans. Like okay. So both are the one and the same. This Chawans. Like who is the greatest ruler of Chawan? Prithviraj Chawan. Prithviraj Chawan. Okay. See, this keep in your head. Okay, so like now in Delhi, after Thomas, which is the dynasty that is controlling Delhi? Chawans. Okay, so like, and I told you there are as many as 36 Rajput kingdoms that used to rule India. So in the medieval times. Okay, this keep in mind. Okay, so now we'll slowly talk back about this Turkish invasion that has happened in India. Okay, that has tormented India actually. So like we'll come across a person called Muhammad Ghazni. Okay, this Muhammad Ghazni, Invaded India 17 times. Invaded India 17 times, 17 times. Okay. His only aim was to do plunder. Plunder, take back the wealth. Okay. He must have heard about the richness of India. Okay. That would have led him to come and plunder India, which he did. He did 17 times. He emerged victorious all the times. Oh. No, why they would stop? Yeah, that's a good question. Because here there are lot of Rajput kingdoms, but you will get to know that this Rajput kingdoms, okay, so they were fighting amongst each other. Thomas getting defeated by Chauhans. See this after later times, this Kanauj, okay, after Harshavardhana, this Gurjara Pratiharas, Palas, and Rashtrakutas who were controlling Kanauj. Later times, one of the Rajput kingdoms controls this Kanauj. Okay, he's that dynasty is called Ghadwals. 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 So this Ghadwals, there is one ruler called Jayachandra. Okay, so this Jayachandra, okay, so he also got defeated by Chauhans. So as you can see, okay, they themselves were concerned about only the smaller proportion of territories. Okay, they are not concentrating more about the rights of Muhammad Ghajni. Okay, only which dynasty he used to go. So that he used to get ransacked. That dynasty used to get plundered. Okay, so one reason why the rulers didn't take precaution. So that itself is the reason why Turkish invasion happened in India. Okay, so it happened because there was no unity amongst Rajput kingdoms. Okay, and second reason, so he must have been a good ruler. I mean, good warrior. Okay, this Muhammad Ghazni must have been a good warrior. Okay, and when you read about this Turkish story, right, so they knew proper usage of horse, and they were controlling good quality of horse. This Turkish invaders, so their army, whenever they are coming, they are not coming alone. They are coming with their army. Okay, so they must have controlled good quality of horse. Okay, see again in a war, who will win? One who is stronger. One who is stronger. Okay, so here in this case, he must have been stronger. So if all the Rajput kingdoms, okay, united themselves and fought Muhammad Ghazni, so then maybe the result would have been different. But we see that okay, Rajput kingdoms are fighting amongst each other. See, it makes important, no? So when you are internally divided so much, the other ruler who will be coming, obviously he will emerge victorious. There is no good example than the example of Britishers. When Britishers came to India, so what they did, they pitted one king against another king. Marathas against Mysore, Mysore against Nizams of Hyderabad. Ultimately, what happened? It's not Marathas, it's not Mysore, or it's not the Nizams. Who became the real emperors of India? It is the Britishers. Why that did happen? That in the later times. Okay, any reason? Same. Technological advancement with respect to British Army would have been better. That could be one reason. And second reason, internally, we ourselves are divided. Oh, you will come across so many rulers, okay, who went to Britishers to ask for their help. Tree. Simple. Okay. So imagine you are a traveler. You went to England or you went to France or something. Okay. There, if you don't get to know anything, so what do you will know? What do you want to do? You want to take the help of local people, right? Because they have more information. Correct. You yourself are a traveler. Okay, so when you went to England or France or USA, you want to take the help of those people because they have more information. They know their place more better. They know their people more better. Unfortunately, in India, you will see that many things going to Britishers. It's as I said, you are traveling. So like some French local, okay, who was born in that country, coming to ask you like, okay, what is the direction, or where can I find this restaurant? That preposterous, right? It can look funny, but like that's what happened in Indian history. There is a reason why we should be united. Why the people of India needs unity. Or else like someone from outside can come. Okay, he can invade us. We shouldn't give that chance. Hopefully, like we have learned our lessons. One of the reason why you should read history, because like you can know all these things that have happened. So see, history makes you better decision makers. Correct. Can that happen? Are you able to understand these things? Okay, so like you got the answer for the question which you were looking for. So why like Muhammad Ghazni like came to India 17 times, plundered India, lot of temples. Like there is a city called Mathura, the birthplace of Sri Krishna. Okay, so like then there is city called there is temple called Somnath. Okay, Somanatha temple. Okay, so in Gujarat. Okay, that had lot of richness. He heard about that. It is actually temples that is holding a lot of like money. Even in the present day times, you can understand the value or the money held by Tirupati Tirumamba Trust. This Tirupati Temple Trust, how much it must be worth? Huh? One of the biggest, one of the richest temples. So like there is also one more temple which got like discovered a few years back, only 1 decade back. That was like old temple, Padmanabhapura temple, or Padmanabha Swami temple, which is in present day Kerala, I guess. Okay, so like there they have found that the wealth like it consisted of the gold coins and other things. Okay, so it was of billions of dollars. It was billions of dollars. I mean, the temples of India, like especially like earlier kings, they used to protect these temples and they used to keep like lot of riches. That's why, like when we have discovered that, like go and like check that news where like this Padmanabha Swami temple, how the wealth got discovered almost a decade back, I guess, when the wealth got discovered of this Padmanabha Swami temples. So temples have a lot of richness. It was known to that person. Okay, he must have read about Indian history. When he came, he completely attacked these temples. Not just like he took the wealth, destroyed the temples. He not only took the wealth, at the same time, he destroyed the temples. Okay, so like this Muhammad Ghazni, but I told you, so like his only plan was to take the wealth out of India, never to conquer India and start to rule India. Okay, not to not to rule, not to rule. So like that's why he came to India, he took away the wealth. Okay, so this keep in mind, no? Okay, kept in mind. Then like there comes a some other person. His name is Muhammad Ghor. Okay, you can see like there is some year gaps. Okay, so like this Muhammad Ghor, okay, he also wanted to emulate the success of Ghazni, who came to India 17 times. But the story of Muhammad Ghor, it was not that easy. Okay, he like lost to so many wars. There is one battle called Battle of Kasharda. Don't remember that, so it won't be asked in the exam. So like that happened in the year like 1178. It can be asked, like, but mostly like when it comes to UPSC, like they won't be concentrating on these kind of wars. So like that happened in the year. I shall rub this right. You got to understood the motives of Muhammad Ghazni. So if it is done, I will rub this. Okay, so I was talking about Muhammad Ghor. Okay, he came to India many times. Okay, so like he wasn't successful in his first few attempts in the year like 1178. Okay, he had to face a like battle of Kasharda. In that battle, he lost. Okay, so like there is one queen, a regent queen. Okay, so Gujarat. Okay, her name is Nike Devi. Yeah. So like woman ruler who was a regent queen was able to defeat Muhammad Ghor. Okay, so that used to be the time. So like then we know like there is one more battle, the most famous battle that helped Arab invaders, like okay Turkish people come to India and conquer India. So like first battle was that happened in the year 1191. Okay, so we know like by this time the person who was controlling Delhi was none other than the greatest ruler of Chawans, that is Prithviraj Chavan. Okay, so like this Prithviraj Chavan and this Muhammad Ghor, they had a fight. Okay, so like that whole battle is called Battle of the Rhine. That happened in the year 1191. Okay, who emerged victorious in this war? No, it was Prithviraj Chavan who emerged victorious in the first battle of the Rhine. So like the 11, this is first battle. The first battle of the Rhine. Okay, so like it was Prithviraj Chavan who emerged victorious. Okay, so like again, this is first battle, Prithviraj Chavan emerged victorious. Okay, so but what else happened was Prithviraj Chavan wasn't able to kill him. Okay, so this Muhammad Ghor, after losing the war, he escapes. Okay, he runs away. Okay, at the same time, like something else was happening. Okay, so like in the life of Prithviraj Chavan, something else was happening. There is a book called Prithviraj Raso. Prithviraj Raso. It is written by a person called Chand Bardogi. You want me to write? Okay. This I can rub. So like this is the two wars which was like lost by Muhammad Ghor. 1178, also 1191. Okay. We are like right now in the year 1191. Just imagine this. We are in the year 1191. Okay. So like that book written by Chand Bardoi. That book name is Prithviraj Raso. That's the name of the book. Okay, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಬರೀತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ okay, so like we know like in the year 1191 what happened. Prithviraj Chavan was able to defeat Muhammad Ghor. Okay, his one of the other name which is of Muhammad Ghor is also Mujahideen. Okay, one of the other names of this Muhammad Ghor is also Mujahideen. Okay, so like this he was able to defeat Muhammad Ghor. Okay, after defeating, okay, so like what Muhammad Ghor was doing, okay, he was consolidating his life, his army. Okay, he was like trying to become stronger because he wasn't killed in the first battle of the Rhine. Okay, so like here, okay, Muhammad Ghor, he is consolidating. But like what's happening in the life of Prithviraj Chavan, according to according to Prithviraj Raso book, okay, which is written by a person called Chand Bartoi. So like there is a Ghadwal king. Okay, his name is Jayachandra. Ghadwal king. Okay, so like his name is Jayachandra. She had a daughter. Okay, her name is Sanyogita. This Prithviraj and Sanyogita, even before seeing each other, they were deeply in love with each other. Like it's a story. Okay, so but again, they were in love with each other. Prithviraj also, like Prithviraj and Sanyogita, and like this person, Chaichandra, the father of Sanyogita, he was already an opponent of Prithviraj. Do you think like he would allow Prithviraj to get married to his own daughter? No, right? What happened was he conducted a Swayamvara. Jaitendra conducted a Swayamvara for his daughter. Swayamvara is where so many like okay perspective okay, so grooms will come, and within that, so like the bride, so she can choose anyone. So like she like okay, Jaitendra created a like conducted a okay this Swayamvara for her daughter Sanyogita. Okay, so like already because even without seeing, maybe with hearing the beauty of like these two persons, they might have been in love. And we know like the Prithviraj was opponent of Jayachandra. He wouldn't have allowed like Prithviraj to come to that Swayamvara, right? Okay, what happened was, okay, so to humiliate carefully. Okay, this story is interesting. So you can start writing. Yeah, we still have time. Okay, so I'll be able to complete all these aspects. Don't worry. Look at me. So like, this won't be asked in the exam. And no, that will be asked in the exam, not this story. This one don't remember. Like it's only for your sake and my sake. Okay. So where was I? I was talking about. Yeah. So like Jayachandra trying to conduct a Swayamvara. So within this Swayamvara, he was like opponent of Prithviraj Chauhan and he wanted to humiliate Prithviraj Chauhan. What he did was like, okay, he brought a like statue of Prithviraj Chauhan and made it stand as a like god just to humiliate Prithviraj Chauhan. Okay, so he made a statue of Prithviraj Chauhan and like that there like okay he stood as a god. Okay, so again in that Swayamvara, okay, so like there were a lot of kings, but Sanyogita didn't like anyone. She was like so sorry, like oh yes, like she felt she was not interested. She might have heard about like this Prithviraj Chauhan, or like I don't know what would have happened or what could have transcribed during that time. But like what's happening here is okay, so like she's not interested. What she did is so like because like she didn't wanted to get married to anyone and like okay she is not liking anyone, instead of putting the varmala on like any okay so groom, she went and like she put the garland on the that statue of Prithviraj Chauhan. So like later it turned out to be within the statue Prithviraj Chauhan was already hiding. It means, okay, so she somehow got married to Prithviraj Chauhan. Okay, from there, like they run away. So, like this all has been discussed in this book, Prithviraj also, and we don't know like the content of this book is true or not. Okay, so but again, so like all these things were happening. Okay, where like Jayachandra is opponent of Prithviraj Chauhan, and Prithviraj Chauhan after like first battle of Tharain, 1191, instead of because he didn't kill his opponent, he should have been concentrating on his army. No, so love life. This is what happens. Huh? So, when you are trying to pass this exam, okay, so don't concentrate on your love life. You don't want to become Prithviraj Chauhan. You want to emerge victorious, then go for Sanyogita. Be a Prithviraj Chauhan, where like you emerge victorious, touch the finish line, then go for Sanyogita. When like okay, before reaching to the finish line, if you go for Sanyogita, okay, and you and Sanyogita both won't reach the finish line. Okay, like you'll have to like reach some other line which is not required at this stage of your life. You need to understand. Okay, so like history can be a lessons. Okay, so like in all this happened on the second battle of Taran. So like this guy, so like who was preparing for the war, was consolidating his army, Muhammad Ghor, he came back and there existed a battle again with respect to Prithviraj Chauhan and so Muhammad Ghor. So unfortunately for Prithviraj Chauhan, so this is the battle where he lost. Okay, and now that led to, so unlike Muhammad Ghazni, okay, whose only aim was to control the, like whose only aim was to get the wealth. Okay, unlike him, like his aim was to conquer the India. Okay, so like he like wages so many battles in India. Okay, so like until 206, that is the death of Muhammad Ghor. Okay, he had two of his trusted slaves, two slaves. Okay, one's name is Kutubuddin Aibak. Okay, another guy's name is Yaldaj. Don't remember Yaldaj. Okay, so like it's for only your understanding sake, because see what happened was like this Muhammad Ghor, he had two slaves. One is Kutubuddin Aibak, second is Yaldaj. Okay, two slaves. One is Kutubuddin Aibak, second is elders. Okay, so like he told after like when even he was alive, okay, he divided his territories amongst his two favorite slaves. He gave like okay, he has came to India. He has won that like Delhi and other places. No, so like that he has given to Kutubuddin Aibak. Okay, so like these like are called like Turkish invasion. Okay, so like the places which he was won, okay, in Turk, that has been given to this Aldaj. Okay, after death of Muhammad Ghor, what happened was like Aldaj thought that he is going to be the next emperor. like this Qutbuddin Aibak, he is ruling on behalf of Muhammad Ghor, right? Qutbuddin Aibak is ruling on behalf of Muhammad Ghor. So like now, okay, so like he will rule on behalf of me, which was not like by Qutbuddin Aibak. He said, bro, you are slave. Okay, you got like some territories. I'm also slave. I got some territories. Why I should like, rule under you? I'm independent, you are independent. You rule that part, I will rule that part. So that's how like the ties have been cut by Turks and Indians. Okay, Qutbuddin Aibak, who got Delhi. Okay, so like he didn't agree to the terms of aldage. Who said, okay, so like I will be able to, like I will be the master and you work under me. Yeah, so that was not accepted. When you can't like assert your independence, why would you want to work under someone? Correct. You want to be independent, no? So like that will give you autonomy, like that will give you power to make decisions on your own. Okay. When you are working under someone, you have to take orders. So that won't be like by all the people, no? Even in the present day times. You have to decide you want to be a ruler or so like or else you want to again so be a worker. You can be a worker, like nothing wrong in it. You can be a worker for a government of India, and like that itself will give you more power. So that's the reason like you are coming here like preparing for all this exam, right? So otherwise, like what's the point of reading that has happened in 1200? We are right now in 2025. 800 years back, what happened? Okay, so like you would be thinking, why sir, like okay, why go into depth of these things? Okay, let's move on. Okay, so that's fine. So shall I continue? Got like some idea, getting some idea. Okay, so like there is one again, like you can see, like okay, this Battle of Chandavar, Jayachandra, the same Jayachandra, Sanyogita's father, he got defeated by Kutubuddin Aibak. What? Yeah, so that is also true. Not just the father of Sanyogita, father-in-law Prithviraj Chauhan after that Swayamvara incident. Okay, where Prithviraj Chauhan runs away with the Sanyogita. Okay, so like that is father-in-law Prithviraj Chauhan, also opponent of Prithviraj Chauhan. Okay, so like this Jayachandra got defeated by Kutubuddin Aibak. See, one thing that is emerging out here is so like these Rajput kingdoms, like they're very strong rulers, but like they are fighting amongst each other. There is no unity at all. Can you see here? Okay, can you understand? Thomas getting defeated by Chavan. Chavans in turn, like okay, so are trying to have a battle with Gahadwals. So like then like Chavans got defeated, Gahadwals got defeated. So like that led to Turkish conquering India and having a rule in India. Okay, so get the idea. Okay, so why like these Rajput kingdoms must have lost in India. Okay, so shall I continue? Okay. This like there are again within India. So this you need to forget it now. The story of Aldans. It's over. Okay, we'll just concentrate on what happened in India. Okay, so because like the story of Aldous, it's over. It's done now. Okay, we'll just now concentrate on the things that have happened in India. Okay, 1206 after death of Muhammad Ghor, so Qutbuddin Aibak, he announced his independence. I'm going to control like this area independently. The area Delhi. Okay, so that's how like the slave dynasty started in India. The first dynasty, like within this Delhi Sultanates that control Delhi, so it was slave dynasty. So because the founder itself is a slave, you'll come across so many rulers. Okay, they're all slaves. Okay, so for example, Qutbuddin Aibak, he's a slave. Okay, so like there is this ruler, Iltutmish. Although like Qutbuddin Aibak considered as this founder of slave dynasty, but Iltutmish is considered as real founder of slave dynasty. Because see, after getting the like getting the power, okay, so like he was able to console like rule only for 4 years, whereas Iltutmish, so like when he got the power, he had like so many problems, internal problems as well as external problems. The Bengal region was a problem. Okay, the Multan region in Pakistan was a problem. He had to go to Multan. He had to like defeat the ruler of Multan. Okay. So like his name is Kubacha. Don't remember all that name. Okay, if it is important, I would have told you to write it as well. Okay. So like then with respect to Bengal as well, it's son of Iltutmish that went to like okay Bengal and where like okay he defeated a ruler called Iwaj. IWAZ. Okay. So you can understand, right? So how many rulers he was able to defeat? Like at the same time, like there are still smaller further Rajput kingdoms, which he wasn't able to defeat. Iltutmish, the third ruler. Okay, are you able to connect the things? Okay, so like what's happening? Just a few line about like this Bakhtiyar Khilji. Okay, this Bakhtiyar Khaki or Bakhtiyar Khilji. So like he was also one of the slave when these two people got the power. Okay, so like this again slave of Muhammad Kaur, like this what do you say, Kutubuddin Aibak, he was controlling Delhi. This Bakhtiyar Khilji, okay, what he did is he went on expedition for like this Bengal, Bihar. He was able to defeat it. We know about the beautiful universities, two universities, Buddhist universities that have been completely ransacked by like like this Bakhtiyar Khilji. See, conquering is something which we can accept it. So, but universities, how it could have like made any problem for Bhakti Khilji? That's really sad thing that has happened. Like you can imagine, right? So, like with respect to history, we have come across so many skills that is enviable in the present day. For example, the paintings. For example, the metallurgical skills, Merule iron pillars, the painting of Ajanta, okay, Padmapani's painting, which has been done in the 5th century. Okay, so like you can understand. Okay, so like some skills where like Indians were really ahead. Yeah, so like even these Buddhist books, they must have contained information with respect to maybe medicine that could have helped us gain the um, accurate knowledge with respect to like the olden ways, right? Maybe what if they had the cure for some disease which is not found in present day time, or which is very costlier in present day time? If they had like cheaper method, don't you think like it would have helped someone? Okay, conquering is different thing. Okay, so like this Bhaktiar Khilji, he has completely ransacked those two universities. Can you really understand and appreciate like okay, at least few skills that we can't find in present day times that were possessed by the people of Indians, ancient and medieval times? At least like okay, based on whatever like we have covered. So can you understand those things? Correct. So like, but that have been destroyed here. Really sad thing. So after winning the Bengal, Bihar and ransacking these two, so he wanted to control northeastern India, also Tibet. Okay, so very aggressive, like possession, like aggressive, what do you expeditions? Okay, done by Bakhtiyar Khilji. When like okay, he went. Unfortunately, so he was not aware of the geography of the Kamarupa, that is present day Assam. Okay, one of the king who was controlling Assam, he was able to severely inflict injuries on the armies of Bakhtiyar Khilji. Okay, so like the armies, like okay, like the army persons, okay, like his own army persons, Bakhtiyar Khilji's army person. So like they were really sad about the strategies used by Bakhtiyar Khilji. One time when he was sick, okay, when he was sleeping, one of the his own army guy entered to the tent where like Bakhtiyar Khilji was sleeping, and he killed Bakhtiyar Khilji. That led to the death of Bakhtiyar Khilji. Okay, only person who has remained now is Kutubuddin Aibak. Okay, Kutubuddin Aibak had a son. His name is Aram Shah. You can see there like Aram Shah ruled only for 1 year. The reason was Aram Shah was very incompetent ruler. When he got the power, other people started to tell, अरे भाई like इसको ruler नहीं होना चाहिए. He shouldn't be the ruler. Even the other nobles, they started to complain. They asked Iltutmish to come to Delhi to actually like defeat this Aram Shah and take the power. Aram, like again, Iltutmish is nothing but son-in-law of Kutubuddin Aibak. Aram Shah is nothing but son of Kutubuddin Aibak. And one more thing, like okay, how Kutubuddin Aibak died. So while playing Chaugan, Chaugan is a sort of horse polo, where like you are sitting in the horse, and like there are some unfortunate deaths that have happened in Indian story history. One one is this. Okay, so while playing, it might look comical. So like there is one more ruler, the second ruler of Mughal dynasty, that is Humayun. Humayun also same thing. After winning the war, like okay, he was just resting. While resting, he actually fall off from the library, and from there, like from that fall, he died. Here, like Kutubuddin Aibak died while playing this Chaugan. Okay, so this Aram Shah, because he was incompetent, okay, he got defeated and he got killed. Any doubts here until here? No? So shall we continue? Okay, so like this, we'll try to finish off two things. Okay, so before today's class, we'll continue up to two. After that, I'll leave you. Okay, so is it fine? Okay, where was I? Iltutmish. Okay, so Iltutmish is considered as real founder because of his expedition, and he is the one who has consolidated this Chahalgani. Chahalgani is the group of nobles, like group of 40 nobles. This Chahalgani was okay consolidated by nothing but Iltutmish. Along with it, see, you can see here, right? Externally, whatever the places that can be problematic for Delhi Sultanate, okay, he was able to defeat the rulers. For example, Multan ruler, okay, Kubacha. Okay, so like here, like Iltutmish's son, he went into Bengal and he was able to defeat a ruler called Ivaj. Okay, so clear until here. Shall we continue? Okay, so like this, and not just that, internal administration wise as well, you were seeing that. Okay, so like this, Iltutmish is consolidating the power of Chalgani. Okay, the nobles, like this Chalgani is called as 40. Okay, so like he's doing that here. Okay, so like then later, okay, so there is a system called ICTA system. You must have heard about it. Okay, so like he has introduced ICTA system as well. ICTA system is a sort of land grant given to the, so like some landowners. So instead, like I'm giving you ICTA system. So in turn, what I'm expecting from you, see, the system, like you are a landowner for like certain areas. So ಮುಂಚೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, like we have seen that through agriculturally, so like these people used to collect taxes, right? So ಆಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, okay, earlier time ಅಲ್ಲಿ these people used to collect taxes. Okay, so like later what happened? So here, no. Earlier system, the king used to collect taxes. Okay, so like later feudators started to collect taxes in that smaller places. Okay, here now again, like ICTA system only, like there are like some landowners. Okay, they are now getting the permission to collect taxes. Okay, by the sultans. So why they are getting permission to collect the taxes? So because again, so like they are getting the permission because the king wants something from them in return. They were like king. What king wants is like king wants like military persons. Okay, so that's why like he's giving the permission for those people to collect the land tax through like whatever the amount they are getting through land tax, so they can maintain the military people. Okay, so like military people can be maintained. So after collecting the land tax, okay, so like and this military people, whenever king requests them, okay, so like he will tell it to some iktadar, send your military persons. So like he will send the military persons. Okay, so like this was again started by Iltutmish. Okay, you can understand all these things. Okay, Ikta system, Chahalgani, so able to like win other places. I have been repeating all these things again and again, so you can remember a few things. Okay, see, we have talked about two great rulers who wanted to conquer the whole of world. One is Alexander the Great. Second is Genghis Khan. Okay, so like even Genghis Khan wanted to come to India. Okay, so what happened was like there is one ruler called Khwarizmi Prince. His name is Jalaluddin. Okay, so he again like his place got attacked by Genghis Khan. You know, Genghis Khan, very harsh ruler, very harsh ruler. So like this Khwarizmi Prince, he wanted to take asylum. Okay, he came into the court of Iltutmish to seek asylum, but Iltutmish said, "So no, that's a diplomatic masterstroke." Okay, done by Iltutmish. Otherwise, what have happened? What would have happened if Iltutmish would have given the permission or like asylum to that person? What would have happened? Genghis Khan would have come to India. He would have attacked India. So like this is how like Iltutmish strategically diverted the attack from Genghis Khan, which could have happened. Okay, so like this is the story of Iltutmish. Okay, so like this Iltutmish, as you can see, he ruled from like 1211 to 1236. So long reign of 25 years. Okay, the Qutub Minar started in the like okay period of Qutubuddin Aibak, but it got completed in the period of like, Iltutmish. Qutub Minar, which started from the period of Qutbuddin Aibak. It got completed in the period of Iltutmish. Okay, so like here, one time when he wanted to go for an expedition in Gwalior, Iltutmish, that is the year 1232, 1232. Okay, so 1232. What he did is, so like he has given the reign to his daughter. Okay, Rajia Sultan, her name was. Okay. This Rajia Sultan, she did a very tremendous job. Okay, that's why on the time of his death, okay, he thought that instead of like giving instead of making my sons next emperors who are really incompetent, why can't I make like so my daughter Rajia Sultan? That was a bold move because by this time, okay, women have started to be considered as inferior to men. Here, like Lisa King, okay, who is taking a stance, okay, which is entirely different. He's giving that respect to his daughter. He is having that trust on his daughter. Okay, he has made like his daughter next queen. Okay, so but as you can see, her reign was really short because although like she might have been a really good administrator, so like the people are the nobles, which was again consolidated by her own father Iltutmish, the Chahalgani. Okay, so like this Chalgani was consolidated by nothing but his father, right? So like they would have started to do conspiratorial theory. They didn't wanted to be ruled by a woman. They didn't wanted to be ruled by women. They didn't like it. Now also like only 14% representation. Think of that time. Okay, so like obviously like the people or the nobles would have felt inferior to get ruled by a woman. They thought like okay, her isko to nikalna padega. Okay, she doesn't deserve to be our queen. Okay, so like we have to find some male here. They started creating a rumor that she is having an affair with a very lowly slave boy who was controlling the horses. See, this again, not the new tactic, no. Presently, also, you will see like so many people using the same tactics, especially our own politicians. They'll be like throwing the mud on the opposite leaders. Opposite leaders will be throwing the mud on the like another party. This is happening, right? So again, this see, even if some people believe, okay, so like that can create a sort of resentment. Correct. Some people can like even some people believe that it can create a sort of resentment. Okay, so are you able to understand the things? Okay, where was I? I was talking about like Rajia Sultans. Okay, so here what happened is she got again. So like because her character got assassinated, she wasn't married. Okay, so like within the Islamic rules. Okay, so like if unmarried woman. Okay, so like having the affair, so that is considered very bad. Okay, so again, to destabilize her own position, right? They're trying to destabilize her own position. Okay, so like this led to a rise in revolts. So many governors, so many people now wanted to actually like rise against Rajia Sultan. Ultimately, that happened. Okay, so like there was one guy. His name is Altunia, Altunia. Altunia. Okay, this Altunia. Okay, so like he defeated Rajia Sultan and he made her captor. He made her captor and imprisoned her. Rajia Sultan got imprisoned later. Okay, so like she got imprisoned by this Altunia, right? She somehow convinced Altunia, "Arey, let's get married." Okay, once we become married, I mean, women are sometimes very persuasive. Okay, this persuasion skills, they really have it. Okay, so like once we get married, so because I am none other than daughter of Iltutmish, the king of Sultan, you can be the next Sultan. Why you want to be happy just being a governor? Aim for high, aim for governorship, like aim for kingship. So like you marrying a daughter of Iltutmish, so like that will make you a legal heir. You can become the next king. So like why you are like happy being just governor here? Okay, so aim karo, aim karo. It's like telling some IAS officer, you can become next prime minister. Be like, okay, so much happy, right? Compared to the position of prime minister, like IAS officer is nothing. Not nothing, but again, so like the prime minister has a lot of power. Correct. You can understand this. The same thing happened. He got persuaded. He got married. Chalo, chalo, idea to बढ़िया है. Why to just remain a governor when I can be a next king? Chalo, chalo, बढ़िया है. And he released her. This Altonia released her. Okay, so and they were coming to Delhi. While coming to Delhi, they both got defeated and they both got killed. Both Altonia as well as Rajia Sultan. So later period, so like some of the useless sons of Iltutmish, they got the power. Okay, so like you can see there is intrigue now. Okay, so where like I mean, for a namesake, the sons of Iltutmish are ruling, but like the real rulers were nobles. Okay, behind the scenes, they were controlling the aspects. Okay, so like then the next big ruler like that came. So his name is Balban. He himself was a slave. Iltutmish, he was also slave. Okay, so like then he became the daughter, like son-in-law. Again, son-in-law of Kutubuddin Aibak. Then he became the king. Okay, this Kutubuddin Aibak, he himself was a slave of Muhammadpur, right? And here again, so like this person, his name is Balban. He himself was a slave. First, he became a noble. Once like he became a noble, he married his daughter to Sultan. He now like okay became none other than the deputy to the Sultan. Again, so like there was again one time there was a conspiracy theory. So where like this Balban, okay, so like he was removed from the deputy of the Sultan. So like the other people, so like the Balban was rising so heavily, he virtually became the ruler. For namesake, the Sultan was ruler. That wasn't liked by the nobles. They said, Sultan, it's like okay, you can't leave this Balban like as the things like he's doing now. So if that's the case, he is virtually next going to eliminate you. Yeah, so like that's when like okay, this Balban got removed, but he comes back again. Now with more vigor. He understood. Arey bhai, okay, so like you are doing all this to me, so like let look into this. Okay, he'll come back stronger. Okay, then he comes back. He somehow there is a one conspiracy theory. According to that conspiracy, they say according to that conspiracy theory, he gives poison to the king. Okay, when the king is getting killed, okay, he being a simple noble man, he became the next emperor. Right? So like these people who get the power through these unconventional routes. Okay, because ಅವನ್ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, he is not deserving ಅಂತ ಅವನ್ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ, because like he is not from a royal blood. Balban mind ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. So like then but still he got the power. So he was always curious and always skeptical that someone will come and will be able to defeat him and take away like his kingship position. Okay, so like these people, when again whenever fear is there in your brain, okay, so like you are your biggest enemy, or like you will be trying to be really careful. You won't enjoy your life, no, whenever like there is fear in your brain. So he started a lot of systems. For example, there is a spy network system called Barits, BARADS, Barits, that was started by Balban. Okay, and also again someone coming from a lowly background, being a slave, then noble, now becoming a king. So like he should be always on guard, right? So like he also started a military system. Okay, military department. That military department can be asked. Okay, so like the first time the military department started within this Delhi Sultanate, it is by a person called Balban. Okay, so like that name is Divanai Arj. Divanai Arij. ARIZ. Okay, so that is the name of military department. That is Divanai Arich. Okay, so again, so he started a spy network system. That network system is called Barits. BARIDS. Barits. Okay, so like then also again, so he was not done here at. He started like two other system. Okay, their name is Sajda and Paibos. Sajda is where like you bow in front of your king. That is Sajda. Okay, Paibos is where you kiss the feet of your king. he wanted to do all this because in his brain, he is thinking, I won't be allowed to remain king anymore. Okay, so like there will be other people who will come back and who will be able to defeat me. Okay, so this was always there. Okay, so like he also started with Paibos and Sachta. Sachta is where you bow your head. Paibos is where you kiss the like king feet. See, whenever grand events happens in a kingdom, whenever grand events happens in a kingdom, so like the king will become more famous now. For example, I mean, okay, although religious example, still I'll be giving it. Okay, when this Ram temple got inaugurated, Modi's what do you say? Modi's popularity somehow increased. Agita. Okay, so, same year he started a festival called Navroz, a Parchivan festival. Okay, see why he's doing all that. He wanted to become more famous. He wanted to express his authority amongst all the people. He was really strict with against everyone, and like it is the first time you will see like okay he is fighting with the Mongols. Iltutmish somehow what do you say diverted the attention of Genghis Khan. Okay, so like he didn't give the asylum to that Khwarizmi prince, but here like you'll see that okay Balban he is fighting with Mongols. Okay, this like he also built a fort in Punjab, present day Punjab. That fort name is Tabar Hind Fort. Okay, so are you able to understand all this? Okay, so like now first time like you're seeing like okay Mongols and see there is hundreds of questions. I mean every year one question like okay asked by UPSC on this theme. Okay, one side Mongols, second side Delhi Sultanates. Okay, so like yeah, periodically which Mongol attack happened? What have happened? Okay, so like which is the first time when Mongols attack Delhi Sultanates? So this again make a table. Okay, because every year you are getting a question, so it doesn't make sense for you people to leave the questions. You should be able to do it. You should be able to get the marks out of it. Okay, doesn't it make sense for you people to get the marks out of this? Okay, get the marks out of this. Okay, so this is what happened. Okay, where was I? I was talking about the Mongol attacks as well. Okay, and he also lost his son. His name is like Prince Muhammad. He wanted the Prince Muhammad to become the next emperor of India. He lost Prince Muhammad to the Mongol attack. Okay, so like then he had two sons, this Balban. Okay, so like another's name is Mughra Khan, who became the governor of Bengal. Bughra Khan, who became the governor of Bengal. Okay, so but this Bughra Khan had seen the situation in Delhi. Within Delhi, there is nothing. Okay, what the only things that's happening within Delhi is so like they are fighting amongst each other, and even if you're an emperor, because like he saw his own father now, his own father killing the emperor Sultan and becoming the next emperor. So like he was like so disgraced with the politics that was played in the capital city, that is Delhi. He said like okay after so Balban called Bughra Khan, the governor of Bengal. I come back. Okay, so you can become the next Sultan. But Bughra Khan said no. I don't want to enter into that politics. That is very disgraceful politics. Okay, so like this is what actually happened. So like then the Balban so named his grandson, but his grandson was very young, and at the same time his grandson wasn't able to consolidate the power. So like this is how like the end of slave dynasty came. Okay, this slave dynasty is also called as Mamluk dynasty. Okay, but as you see, like there are many rulers within this dynasty. They themselves are slaves. That's why like this is usually called as slave dynasty. And like the time period of slave dynasty is 1206 to 1290. Slave dynasty ruled Delhi from 1206 to 1290. I think like yeah, it is there. No, yeah. This slave dynasty 1206 to 1290. Ultimately, after Balban, see Balban he himself like ruled up to 1287. Okay, within few years. Okay, let's continue bit further. Okay, within few years, okay, he was able to get defeated. This Balban. Okay. Yeah. So then from 1290, the Khalji dynasty started. There is a movie. Anyone has seen it? That movie name is called Padmavat, where Ranveer Singh, Deepika Padukone all has acted. To certain extent, it can be considered true. I mean, they haven't exaggerated too much. It's anyways like okay, based on a book which is written by a person called Malik Muhammad Jaisi. Okay, Malik Muhammad Jaisi. So like he has written that book. Okay, book name is Padmavat. See, anyways, like the Khilji story that is happening in the 13th century, 1200 admele. So like see the time period. Okay, he got the power 1296. Okay, so admele and up to 13th century. That's when like he got the power, right? So but what actually happened is like this Padmavat book was written later in the 15th century. Okay, there is a gap. It means like okay, there might have been exaggerated stories written in that book that you need to understand. Okay, so clear until here. Okay, shall I continue? So who became the first king of the Khilji dynasty? See, Khilji dynasty ruled only for few years. That is 1290 to 1320. So what about slave dynasty? For how many years they have ruled? 1206 to 1290. It will give them how many years? Calculate. Bega. Calculation bega madbeku. 84 years. That is true. Okay, what about here? What about Khiljis? How many years like they are getting? 30 years. Okay. So the founder of Khilji dynasty is Jalaluddin Khilji. So this Jalaluddin Khilji was nothing but a military government. Okay. So like he won many wars before becoming the king. This Jalaluddin Khilji. So he won many wars before becoming the king. Okay. So again, because he got the support of masses as well as goodwill of nobility, he was able to become the next emperor. Okay, and as soon as like he got the power in 1291 itself, sorry, not in 1219, so 1291 itself, he faced an attack with the Mongols, where like okay, he emerged victorious. Jalaluddin Khalji, he emerged victorious. Okay, his ruling is also very short. Okay, so see, he started from 1290. Okay. So as you can see here, 1296. Okay. Who became the next emperor? Alauddin Khilji. Okay. So like it means like he ruled only for 6 years. ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ this Alauddin Khilji, who used to be governor of Kara. Okay. What happened is like this governor of Kara. Okay. He went and he got such a wealth from a place called Diogil or Devagiri. Okay, Yadavas of Devagiri. So there he goes. He get like so much of wealth. Okay. So like when he comes back, he should have given like the share to king because he's just a governor. There is already a king. Okay, his name is Jalaluddin Khalji. Okay, he should have given the share to the king, but he didn't give it. And king got to know this. And king, okay, so thought that I'll like myself will go to the governor of Kara, or like I'll myself go to the Alauddin Khilji and will actually talk to him. And as soon as he sees me, obviously he will give me my due. That's what he thought. But like this Alauddin Khilji had other plans. Okay, so like this, what he thought was Jalaluddin Khilji, if I go with my whole of army, this Alauddin Khilji will get afraid and he will run away. So he said, so most of his army to like leave behind because who will kill a king? That's what the thought of like Jalaluddin Khilji was. Okay, so like he thought that, and he said, okay, so I myself will go and we'll see, okay, what I can do there. Okay, so like this, then he came, Alauddin Khilji came, and he was able to see. He got when like Jalaluddin Khilji came into the court of Alauddin Khilji. Okay, so like this, Alauddin Khilji killed the Jalaluddin Khilji. Jalaluddin Khilji thought that, so like if I go with my army, so okay, this person will run away. But like this Jalaluddin Khilji, you can understand such a cruelty. Okay, so like again, like this Jalaluddin Khilji was like father-in-law of Alauddin Khilji. Kingship knows no kinship. That's what we have read, right? Okay, so what is the time? 12:48. So we have 12 minutes. Shall I continue? See, the reason is we'll complete like few aspects. Okay, so like when you see the map of like this Alauddin Khilji, you'll understand that okay, the map was really big. Okay, the reason is see again like in the period of Alauddin Khilji, okay, Mongols attacked him twice. in 1300s. So like they attacked him twice. Okay, and he was able to build a fort called on the outskirts of Delhi. He built a port. That port name is Siri Port. Tabarhin Port was built by Palban. Okay, it is actually Tabarhin Port that helped Jalaluddin Khilji when Mongols attacked. Okay, so like again, Mongols attacked twice in the period of Alauddin Khilji. Okay, to get away from this, like okay, he also wanted to build a fort. So like that fort was built. Okay, so like that the fort name is Siri Fort. Okay, it was built by Alauddin Khilji. Okay, and again after defeating the king himself, after killing the king himself, what happened was, okay, so like this person, Alauddin Khalji, okay, so like he actually given bribes to nobles, and nobles were like came to the side of Alauddin Khilji. Okay, and when you see the map of India in the period of Alauddin Khilji, you will get to know that the map was really big. This is the map of Alauddin Khilji in the period of, see, this is the map of India in the period of Alauddin Khilji. Okay, so like he conquered many places. Okay, so he conquered many places of Rajasthan. Okay, many places of Gujarat. The first place he conquered was Gujarat. Okay, so like then Rajasthan, then okay, so Madhya Pradesh. Okay, so like he also came up to like Maharashtra. Okay, so like all these places he conquered. You can see the map of Alauddin Khilji, right? So like this is India under Alauddin Khilji. Okay, so like, if I just actually have to show you how many wars he has won. First, he conquered Gujarat, Raikaran. Okay, so like then he conquered Deogir, which was under the control of Ramachandra. Okay, later like he had a matrimonial alliance, the Ramachandra. That is different story. Okay, so like this Ranthambore. Okay, so like there is a ruler called Hamir Deva. Okay, he was able to defeat Hamir Deva as well. Okay, that battle happened for 2-3 months. So like this Mewar, like in turn, actually like got defeated by Amir Deva. Okay, so like there is one personality called Amir Khusro. He is also called as like Parrot of India, Tota, Indian Tota. Okay, so like Kawali songs like Keltirala. So like he is like okay called as like the father of Kawali, the original father of Kawalis. Okay, in shoot, there is sort of a needle in this chair. I was just like, okay, putting my weight. Okay, I got stung by that needle. Suddenly, okay. Yeah, have to be careful with this chair. Okay, can't take this chair lightly. Okay, where was I? I was completely into the topic because I have very less time, 10 minutes, and I have to at least complete Alauddin Khilji so that tomorrow when we come back, like we can discuss other things. Okay, so where was I?
Father.
Yeah, father of Kavali, Amir Khusro. Okay, so like when like this battle with Hamira Deva was happening, what Alauddin Khilji did was he took Amir Khusro with himself. So like this Amir Khusro as a poet, he can write whatever is happening. Okay, so like this Amir Khusro, so as a poet, like he has written beautifully about like this the fort of Ranthambore. Okay, so strong the fort of Ranthambore. That's why like that battle happened for so many years. Okay, 2-3 years. So here like we have seen a story, right, where Iltutmish, so like he didn't give the asylum to Qarsimi prince. The war exists, like the battle existed between like Alauddin Khilji and also like this Ranthambore ruler Hamir Deva, because it was Hamir Deva who has given like asylum to two people, who two nobles of Mongols who actually like nothing but wanted to take away the wealth of Alauddin Khilji that he won in 1299 Gujarat. That angered the Alauddin Khilji. He said, "Don't give the asylum." But Hamir Deva said, "Okay, so as a Raja, okay, so like it is my dharma. I have to give the asylum." So like that is what actually reason that led to the Battle of Ranthambore. And like okay, Alauddin Khilji was able to finally defeat it. And see, this is the first time you will hear about like very bad thing that has happened, where all the women's like getting into so fire and kill themselves. Like that is called Johar system. Okay, the group of women's. Okay, so like this actually like in Indian history we see it for the first time here. Okay, Johar has happened. At two places it has happened under the Alauddin Khilji. Once like okay under like Ranthambore Fort. Okay, once like also in Chittor. This Johar has happened. See again like I told you Malik Muhammad Jaisi, who is the author of Padmavat, but like this Padmavat. Okay, so that was written in the 15th, 16th century. This is all happening here. Okay, when it is happening, 14th century. So like this book must have been written after 200 years. There is a time lag. This you need to understand. Okay, it means some parts or some stories, because Malik Muhammad Jaisi is not seeing it from his own eyes, right? So like he's writing it after 200 years. Then like some things might have been exaggerated. Okay, so like but like that whole book actually discusses about the story of Chittor. Like the king of Chittor was Ratan Singh. Okay, he married a woman called Padmavati. Okay, who was a Sri Lankan queen. Okay, her beauty was in such a way that okay, so like that led Alauddin Khilji to attack Chittor. Okay, that battle existed between this Chittor king, that is Ratan Singh and Alauddin Khilji. Ultimately, like it was Alauddin Khilji who emerged victorious, and like this Padmavat, along with that group of women, they also committed Johar. Okay, that is the whole story. And Malwa, unlike see other places, after winning it, he has given it back for Rajput kingdoms. But Malwa, he got it under direct control. There is a place called Bagalna. Okay. Huh? Baglana. Okay. So like it is it is near Malwa. So like again, like this same Rai Karan, who got like in 1299. So who he didn't even fight a war in 1299. So as soon as like Alauddin Khilji's army came, he ran away from there. Okay, so like again, like he was controlling a place called Bagal, okay, Baglana. So like which is near Malwa, not Bagalna. Okay, Baglana near Malwa. Okay, and here like this time he was completely thoroughly got defeated. Okay, so like then I told you like this Ramachandra first like he defeats right. So like later like he had an alliance with the Ramachandra as well. Okay, so like there is one person called Malik Kafur. Okay, this Malik Kafur. Okay, so like who rose to the higher position. Like Malik Kafur was a slave. Again, like how like Malik Kafur got into the court of Alauddin Khilji, like through in 1299, like there was a Gujarat conquest. Within the Gujarat conquest, so like this Malik Kafur came into the court of Alauddin Khilji. So like although like he was a slave, he later rose to the higher positions. He kept on rising to the higher position, and one day like there came a situation where this Malik Kafur got so much of power, and like king sent Malik Kafur an army, and like king under the leadership of Malik Kafur sent an army to conquer other places. As you can see, okay, so like he came to Warangal. Warangal was a place during that time. It was under the control of Kakatiya dynasty. Okay, he also came to a place called Dwarasamudra. He also came to a place called Madurai. Yeah, so like this Mubarak Shah, he was the son of Alauddin Khalji. Okay, so like then there is some ruler called Khusro. He is a Hindu converted ruler. Okay, he although like he's a Hindu converted ruler. Okay, so like the gifts which was given by like this Hindu converted ruler to a saint, Muslim saint. So like his name is like Nijamuddin Auliya. So like was accepted by that saint. It tells that so like although like if ruler is Hindu converted, so like it wasn't again. So like there wasn't a clear what do you say? No, like the people actually like respected powers. Okay, so like doesn't matter like from which religion and come back. Okay, first like he was a Hindu, like, although like he got converted. So like he gave gifts to the saint, and like that saint actually accepted the gifts. Okay, so like that is Nijamuddin Aliya. So like this is the map of India under Khalji dynasty. So clear until here. Okay, so like see this Mubarak Shah like he ruled only for few years. From again like this Khusro also like ruled only for 1 year. 1320 end of Khilji dynasty. No, so like then like the later dynasty that comes along that is called Delhi Sultanates. Okay, no, it's all Delhi Sultanates only. Okay, the first dynasty, no, not Mughals. Okay, within Delhi Sultanates, there are 5 dynasties. One is like slave dynasty or Mamluk dynasty. Second is Khaljis. Okay, after Khaljis, like the third dynasty within Delhi Sultanates. So that is Tughlaq dynasty. Tughlaq dynasty. Okay, so like we'll come across a great ruler within the Tughlaq dynasty called Muhammad bin Tughlaq. So like also famously known as Mad Ruler. Okay, so we'll know why he is called as Mad Ruler. Okay, so that all we will discuss in the tomorrow's class. Tomorrow's class, the topics are going to be okay. So like completion of Delhi Sultanates. Okay, so like then Mughals, Vijayanagara. Okay, if time permits, we'll also look into the aspects of Imperial Cholas because you'll get a question from them as well tomorrow. So like it's going to be the end of medieval India. Okay, so enjoyed getting the connections. Okay, so thank you.
So particulars.
Particulars, I will tell you. Come in the parent